Hey, everybody. Welcome in. You are listening to hour number one of our coverage of Election Day 2020. That's all. That's like the news ticker music that's all I got, JB. I just thought I'd
more than I got, pal.
Well, I thought I'd throw something in there regarding the election.
It does sound like that news ticker, though. It really does.
The official Matt Wyatt Show coverage of Election Day 2020. That's all I got. This is better.
Got some sugar in their coffee today.
Speaking of, let me pour some more. Hang on.
25 seconds left to play.
You're listening to the Matt Wyatt Show.
I want winners.
This crowd is alive.
Play to win the game.
Wyatt from the shotgun, two backs alongside.
Knock him out, John.
Wyatt gets the ball.
It won't be long.
Wyatt back to throw. Wyatt looks, fires toward the end zone. Passes, caught for a touchdown by Matthew Butler.
Speak to
The Matt Wyatt Show. He's Radio Wyatt.
Well, how am I going to go to college? I'll just play football.
Yeah, all right. Now it's official. Welcome in. Here we go. Hour number one of the show. I'm Matt in the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go! With the home team. They are your home team. Farm Bureau Insurance. Across the great state of Mississippi. Here on the show, staying connected to you because of C Spire, the number one network in Mississippi. C Spire, where they are customer inspired. We are listener inspired here on this show, so lots of ways for you to be a part of it. And that way you can kind of direct me on what y'all want to talk about today. Call me on the Davini phone, Davini Equipment, Madison and in Jackson. Your Kubota dealer, 995-1059. It's a 601 number, 995-1059. You call me, we'll chat it up right here. Everybody can hear your voice. And a lot of folks that would rather hear your voice than mine. Sometimes I'm that way. Text me. Doesn't require talking. It's even easier. Text me on the Country Pleasin' text line. Country Pleasin' sausage on grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. You know what I had for lunch today, JB?
Some country pleasing.
Now, this is honest truth now. This is honest truth. I fried up in the pan on the stove some of that, blueberry maple. The new flavor. It's not quite out yet. I fried up about a 6-inch section of that blueberry maple sausage, and with it I ate some leftover tortilla chips from the Mexican restaurant in that white sack with some of that seasoned salt sprinkled all over it.
Did you put them in the microwave for about 15 seconds?
No, I didn't. But you know what? That would make the salt stick better, wouldn't it?
Oh, man, yeah.
Get them good and greasy. How do chips?
Well, I have to tell you now, I may have one-upped you today as far as that, because Miss Betty out at Live Oaks was cooking up some of her pork rinds this morning. Yeah. Fresh, hot, and she has her own little seasoning she puts on them.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. Man.
Good stuff, huh?
Oh,
I bet it's good. Anyway, had some Country Pleasin' for lunch. And speaking of, y'all can text me on the Country Pleasin' text line. Country Pleasin' sausage on grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. Walk up in there and say, Country Pleasin', please. Here's the number to text me, 885-ESPN, 885-ESPN, or 885-3776. Also, if y'all are watching the live stream, however you're watching it, what's up? Hope y'all are off to a good Tuesday. You got to go vote today, right? Go vote. The Wyatts are headed out there this afternoon. We have a place actually really close to our house. We could technically walk there. I think we'll drive. But Mary Liddy wanted us to wait until she was out of school so that she could go with us. She was really interested to see what it's like to go vote. Now, how cool is that? I was not that aware and not that mature at 9 years old.
Me either.
I mean, JB, at 9 years old, if somebody had said, hey, you want to go with me? I'm going to vote. I'd been like, no.
Yeah, that was Watergate for me when I was 9.
You didn't want to be part of that.
Stuff was on TV every day.
Yeah, messing up your ball games and everything else.
I know it.
I've been like, hey, y'all go ahead. I'll be outside. Catch me outside.
That's right. I can tell you this: the place where I vote in Clinton Raymond Road, right by the fire station. And when I passed there this morning about 6:30, headed to Live Oaks. Oh, there was at least 250 people.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm not using preacher, averages.
You're not, huh?
No, it was packed.
They're covered up. They got more than they can handle.
Yep.
If you're watching the live stream, hey to y'all, comment. I'll see you. Lynn says Hail State. Richard says howdy. Lynn said voted last week, but hope it's what is it? Trump's Day? Oh, Trump's Day. Is that what you're trying to say? It corrected you. Hey, Lynn, conspiracy theory on Facebook. You try to type in Trump, it changes it to trunk. Jim says, who's your realtor in Starkville? Well, I don't have one, Jim. I don't think that Kane Overstreet is necessarily like classified as a realtor. Maybe he has his realtor's license, though, for all I know. I don't know. I just know that anything in and around Starkville, I have access to a condo there for ball game weekends when I need it, all because of Overstreet Properties, Kane Overstreet. It's just, whether it's condos throughout Starkville, whether it's like moving up there permanently, you need a house and all that. So you asked me about a realtor. I don't think in those terms. I just call Kane, and here we go. Overstreet Properties, hit them up. Can't recommend them highly enough. And how about this, JB? It is not every day that a legit first-round NFL draft choice is a part of the show. In fact, most days, it's like we're the opposite of first-round NFL draft choice right here.
Yeah, we're undrafted free agents.
We ain't even that. We are bench warmers. Okay,
we're not even Isaiah Zuber.
Right, we're not even that. Derek Sherrod, former first-rounder out of Mississippi State, has said hello to us on the live stream. Derek, hats off to you. Hope you're doing well. He says, Hail State. Danny's here, Hail State from Ringgold, Georgia. Mike B says, good day, mate. Good day, mate. Voting early and often, LOL. Yeah, careful there. Don't tell anybody. Jordan says, I waited for an hour and a half in Madison to vote, and it was worth it. An hour and a half. Caleb says, who's on the docket for your Hometown Heroes episode this Friday? Well, Caleb, let me just put it this. I almost hate to speculate openly because the last thing I want to do is hurt any feelings or anybody get cross with me. Here it is Tuesday. I haven't 100% decided, but I'm about 99% leaning towards Enterprise Clark hosting their first round playoff game down there outside of Meridian this Friday. And I kind of have a dual purpose. There's a story there I was made aware of almost going on 2 years ago, and I think it's about time to jump in on it. And so that's kind of what I'm leaning towards for this Friday. Mike says, we have one place here in Red Bay. He's in Red Bay, Alabama.
Know right where that is, man.
Yes, I do too. Red Bay is kind of between where I am right now, Tupelo, and Russellville, where I grew up. It's close to Russellville. Red Bay and Belmont. We ought to do it. You know what would be an interesting hometown documentary series for basketball season, JB?
Oh, yeah.
Is the rivalry between Red Bay and Belmont in women's basketball, girls basketball.
Get Mac McAnally do the soundtrack.
That'd be great. Anyway, Mike says, we have one place here in Red Bay, and the turnout is awesome. Even though everyone has the red hats on. LOL. Everybody wearing red hats. Jay says, go Rebs. How about that? Jay's giving us a shout-out for the Rebs there on the live stream. Ed says, mail voted last week here in Southern California. Pretty sure my vote got canceled out. Hail State. And Steve says there's a 50-minute wait in Dothan, Alabama. You know, the power of all these different platforms and social media is really cool. So all in one little section of comments on the live stream, which span across Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, we have a former first-round NFL draft pick in Derek Sherrod. We got people in Georgia, people in Alabama, and Southern California. And, of course, here in Mississippi. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we're going to go this afternoon and kind of do the whole voting thing as a family. There is a story here, though, that I've got to make you aware of, and it was sent to me. JB, should I tell who sent me the CDC New York Post story? Or should I just say I've got the story and here's what it is? Let me just keep it under wraps until I get approval from this person whether or not I can put it out there. Let me just say that this person sent me this link and said, I am officially done. Consider me done. I am not taking the CDC seriously anymore. None whatsoever. Here's what it said.
Yeah, I saw that.
You see that?
Oh, yeah.
I really want to say his name. I'm not going to say his name. But he said, just consider me done with the CDC. He says, coronavirus patients. Listen, we're not talking about, listen, they have coronavirus patients can break quarantine today to vote in person. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The CDC.
So you quarantine, but then you can get out and be around all millions of people that are voting.
I mean, and just...
from the Department of Redundancy Department.
Right. I mean, well, and here's the thing about it too, JB. I'm looking at this. The name of the organization is Centers for Disease Control. Yet, again, according to this, they are saying if you have it, even though we're supposed to be the Center for Disease Control, you can go vote in person. Break quarantine. You can do it. To go vote in person. Is this real? I mean, the New York Post, is that a real thing? I don't know. I guess it's a real thing. Coronavirus patients can break quarantine today to vote in person not according to me, not according to the Democrat Party, not according to the Republican Party, a candidate, Fox News, CNN. No. The Center for Disease Control. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
It's nonsensical.
Pete said it best.
That don't make no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, just take the control word out of the title of the organization. The Center for Disease. Take prevention out. Take prevention and control out. It beats anything I've ever seen. You can vote in person and break quarantine if you have corona. According to the CDC, the Center for Disease Control. It beats
that thing
anything.
probably came from a Russian computer.
It had to, right? Like it's. Hold on, let me say it. I'm gonna say it. You ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
Fake news. Said it. And the guy who sends me the link using this from the New York Post, says, I'm done. I'm out. I've been wearing masks, putting them on my family. I've been being PC whenever I need to in front of other people. I didn't want to discourage anyone from wearing a mask. I'm not the expert. This has sent him over the edge. That's it. He's done. Consider me done with the CDC, he says. Because they said if you have cocoa, as the third graders around here call it, if you've got the cocoa, don't worry about it. Go vote in person.
Yeah. Have you read the article?
No, I just read the first paragraph.
I just got through perusing it. Voters have the right to vote regardless of whether they're sick or in quarantine, the CD stressed this past Sunday. And now they're saying this includes wearing a mask, staying at least 6 feet away from others, washing your hands, or using hand sanitizer before and after voting.
Yeah.
The more prepared you are, the less time you may have to spend at the voting site.
Hey, you see some poor guy, he's like sweating, he's pale, he's sick, mask on, face shield, you know, and he's in line. Stay back. Everybody, y'all stay back. Stay 6 feet. Do not come near me.
Yeah.
Don't come here. Back up, back up. I'm telling you. And for 2 hours, he's fending people off. 6 feet.
Kind of like leprosy in the Bible.
Here's a question. You said there's 250 people standing outside your precinct.
Yeah, at least.
If I walk up there pale, sweaty,
there's going to be one.
Sniffly.
You.
Mask, face shield, and I say, just here to vote, stay away from me, I have coronavirus. What are they going to do?
Leave.
No, they're going to say, go ahead, straight to the front.
Yeah,
knock it out. Wipe that down. Hey, wipe. See ya. Wash your hands. Wipe it down. Okay? Tell you what, give us a new booth. Just put some tape over that booth. Don't let anybody in. All right, see you. Go home. Go on home. You go
just
fake.
Have one booth for people with corona.
You go. That's a corona booth right there. You have to walk in through a mist of sanitizer. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, if you go and you fake corona, do you get to the front of the line? That's all I'm asking. See, look, we have officially not started this show with anything substantial whatsoever, and we are 17 minutes into it.
It might be because of the person who sent you the text.
I cannot believe. And using it to say he's done. Done with it. No more masks, no more nothing. It's all a lie. Fantastic.
A lot of people thought after today that it would all kind of go away.
That's right. Okay, so we have 24 hours to test this theory, huh?
Well, about 12, to be honest with you.
Yeah. All right, country please and text line 885-ESPN, 885-ESPN. White Denzel says, very nice of y'all to do y'all's show for the entire time today, unlike some folks that come on from 10 a.m. until noon. Yeah, they just did 1 hour. But did they leave to go vote? Honestly, is that why Chris and Beaver shut their show down after 1 hour? Do we know the reason, or is it any of our business?
I do not know a reason. Jake did not know a reason either. So,
well, gosh, I hope everybody's okay.
Yeah. So it could be they just took off to vote. I mean, they're giving teachers a little longer to vote today.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure they get their votes in.
Are those teachers in turn, though, going to give their students a little more time on their tests? I don't think so. No.
I think mine would. My wife's a good teacher.
All for the teachers. Give them all the time they need.
There you go.
And give them a nice red apple. Sanitize it, but give them a nice red apple also. That'll tried and true teacher gift. I may have missed this conversation here. Says I'm from Belmont but live in Brandon now. I don't know what that's in regards to be honest with you.
I think he's talking about the Belmont women's game and the other game you were talking about earlier.
Okay, yeah. Belmont, Red Bay girls basketball. It's always been a huge rivalry. This is my understanding anyway. Bob said, tell JB took an hour and 15 minutes to vote at the same place that he voted. Okay, and Bob's telling me that Kane Overstreet is a realtor. Okay, well, bingo, there you go. I'm saying I didn't know if he is technically himself a realtor or not. I just know that as long as I know Kane, I don't need a realtor. Like, I don't have to, let's call Kane. And I tell you all about that every day, too. Will says, what high school did you attend? You talking about me? I went to Prattville High School in Alabama. But now as a kid, spent most of my, elementary years and junior high in Russellville. But I went to high school in Prattville. We moved. My dad was a pastor, and he took a church there in Prattville. So that's how that happened. It was closer to home, really, kind of for everybody. Mom and dad both from Chilton County, where the peaches come from. Dad from Clanton, mom from Maplesville. 3 Up Camel, Country Pleasing text line says, Center for Disease is actually correct, but you don't need them to tell you that. It's guaranteed by the Constitution. Okay. Or CDC. Okay, CDC is actually correct. Okay. He's saying they are correct in saying that you can break quarantine and go vote. He's saying they're correct in saying that, but you don't need them to tell you that. It's guaranteed in the Constitution. And break quarantine, go vote. And I think he's got a point. Like the whole quarantine thing is really just sort of us doing our duty. They can't like force you to stay in there, can they? Anthony from Tupelo says, if that doesn't make you skeptical about this whole COVID deal, nothing will. I bet Kamala wins president, we will miraculously have a cure by December the 1st. Meanwhile, Jason in Flagstaff says, I'd be very careful with the New York Post, LOL. I was wondering about that. Then he says, LOL, I see it from Fox News. The list of precautions included makes it an impossible read beyond the headlines. There's some more there, and I'll get to it. Jason and Danny, we do have an update. It's a very positive one on the Ole Miss player who was injured yesterday, and we'll get to that. All coming up as we get started here with you today on this Tuesday. I'm Matt. Stick around.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
Bull. There's a lot of that out there in the wireless world. But C Spire believes that you deserve a plan that is what it actually says it is. Here's the real deal. The best plan for 1 or 2 lines. Unlimited talk and text with 10 gigabytes of high-speed data. And here's the real deal. $45 per line with auto pay and paperless billing. Even without auto pay, it's just $50. Now, how's that for the fine print? No bull. That's the real deal. Switch to C Spire today at cspire.com/real deal. C Spire, customer inspired. Man, that sounds like summertime in Mississippi, doesn't it? You know what else just screams summertime in Mississippi? Country Pleasin' sausage from Country Meat Packers in Florence. Check me out. Jalapeno and cheddar. Just got it at Kroger in Tupelo where I live. On grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. Cut it up, throw it in the frying pan. Put it on a bun. Get some andouille, make some gumbo. It is the best sausage you've ever put in your mouth. Country Pleasin' sausage, countrypleasin.com. It is made up of hand-picked hams, bacon, and pork loin. That's why it tastes so good. I even got this cool hat from them. Check them out. Go by the butcher shop there in Florence, or order it online, or look for it in grocery stores. Walk up in there and say, Country Pleasin', please.
A lot of people in the equipment world, things kind of go in trends, I guess, if you want to say it. So kind of the first big thing for 2020 that we look at when we start evaluating our business is going to be our turf equipment. That's kind of the first big push, because once everything, the water dries up and the grass starts growing, this is what everybody's looking to get. We carry the new Wright stand-up mower. Doesn't look like much and it's dirty as all get out. But this thing is, and it costs just as much as zero turn. Not a cheap unit at all. I mean, if you go out there and look at that zero turn, this thing right here, I mean, it's got all your components from your big pumps to your commercial engine to your large steel deck. And these guys were the first ones to make the standard mower.
Hey, are you buying land or selling?
Show on 105.9 The Zone.
All right. Let's keep it going, huh? Just getting started here together today on this Tuesday in the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go! With the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance across the state of Mississippi. We stay connected to you here because of C-Spire, the number one network in Mississippi. C-Spire. Customer inspired. Check them out, cspire.com. They've always got deals going on, new phones. Adding a line, you can get great deals on the new phones. You got the new iPhone 12 coming out. I'm still on an 8. I've kind of taken care of my phone. It's only got one crack in it. But when I get a new iPhone, I'm going to have to get a new iPhone case to go with the camera lenses that I use on it. So anyway, nobody wants to hear all that. I'll be getting a new one soon. But you can get deals on them. Check them out, cspire.com. Jason has a good point. We're talking about people breaking quarantine to go vote in person. Jason in Flagstaff says the guy sick with the virus isn't half as big a threat as the 30 people in a 3-mile long line who don't know they have it and refuse to wear a mask. That's Jason in Flagstaff. Country Please and text line. Y'all text the show 885-ESPN. Danny in Ringgold, Georgia says, Matt, any take on the team's mindset regarding Kylan Hill's official announcement to leave the program? Any take on that? Yeah, I think I do have a take or two. Let me get into it here. I'm going to scroll back on the Twitter timeline because it came through, a couple of hours ago, earlier today, and he made that official. There was a long statement. It looks like kind of one of those where, school supported opting out in a statement that it's not official letterhead. I mean, it is social media, but y'all get the point. Here's what it says. Now, I could read you all of it. I'm not going to read you all of it. You can go see it yourself. A lot of the media that cover state have that out there and everything. First paragraph, statement from Kylan Hill. To start, I would like to thank God for blessing me in all things and allowing me to walk the path that was chosen for me to walk. I am forever grateful for that. Thank you so much to my family for all the unconditional love, support, and guidance throughout my life. I love you and appreciate you more than you know. He goes on in the third paragraph to talk about the unprecedented year in 2020, uncertainty due to the pandemic, and that he says, I have decided to opt out for the remainder of the season and declare for the 2021 NFL Draft. This has been an incredibly difficult decision, but one that I feel is best for me at this time. He thanks the Mississippi State coaching staff. He thanks the fans, calls them the best fans in the country. And then a note at the end about the state of Mississippi always being his home. And so making it official that he won't be coming back. Yesterday, in the regularly scheduled Mike Leach press conference, there was the initial question was about Kylan Hill, and the response was, really similar yesterday from Leach as it was last week when he said that he had not heard from Kylan Hill. That I think the question was worded this way: well, I know you said you hadn't heard from him, and of course he's obviously not playing. He's not practicing, but he's still on the roster. Is the door open or whatever for him to come back? And the answer was, and again, I'm paraphrasing, but the answer was something along the lines of, well, I just hadn't talked to him. And, Last I heard he was going to do it, but we didn't know for sure. So we're not making any decisions. It's his decision. Is basically the way it was worded. And so then this today kind of clears it up. So it's not really a surprise. All right. So that's the context. Danny, you say any take on the team's mindset regarding the official announcement? Every player on a team has really close friends on that team. And it could be one guy, it could be two, it could be 20, depending on the person. I don't know Kylan's situation. But there will be probably at least one or two on the team who he's close friends with who it'll be like losing a friend, that he's not around, you're not practicing with him, that kind of thing. It'll be very different, a transition for those players, ever how many. As far as the team itself and its mindset towards playing, it's just not going to change. It didn't work that way. And two things about it. So this was my take on it, Danny. Number one, Kylan really hasn't played that much this year anyway. Right? I mean, I guess the most snaps he played in a game was the opener against LSU, and then after that, he played like one or two plays against Arkansas. He played just like a handful of plays against Kentucky. Got suspended against A&M, hadn't played since. So it's not like this particular team is really that used to playing with Kylan. They're not. They're used to playing without him. And then the other thing is about mindset. Mike Leach brought up something yesterday in his press conference, and I went, doggone, that's right. I didn't think of that. He is right about that. And it was in regards to young guys playing. He's basically saying, we got plenty of enthusiasm because you're playing a bunch of freshmen and sophomores at new positions and stuff. Those guys are so happy to be out there. Like, they don't care the situation, whether you're winning or losing or if the other guys are better, if you're favored or not, And I thought, yeah, absolutely. I can see that. You think about all those freshmen on the offensive backfield. Who cares what people are saying? I'm in an SEC uniform playing on national television on ESPN at 6 o'clock tonight. So there's plenty of enthusiasm. So I don't think the mindset necessarily really changes a lot. Is there something different? Sure. But again, they're kind of several weeks into the process of not having Kylan Hill. So I think they should kind of be used to it by now. Davini Equipment phone line, Davini Equipment, Madison and in Jackson. Your Kubota dealer. Rebel Rex giving us a call. What's up, Rex?
Hey, man, how y'all doing? I enjoy y'all show.
Thank you.
Hey, look, I just got a question. As a cornerback, I'm a Rams fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think McVay, he gets stubborn sometimes, but if what he's working works, that's fine. But if it's not, he seems stubborn to change. But my question is, he likes to run this tight formation where he packs in his receivers and everybody real, real tight. And when they do that, the defense just having a field day on golf. I think it would be if they spread out and, do things a little bit different way. That's my question. As a quarterback, what do you think is their problem? What do you think would fix some of the problems they have? Thanks.
Rex, yeah, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. I will be honest with you. I've not watched a ton of Rams football this year. Saw them for about a half of the game against the Cowboys early. Who else I watch them play? Did they play Minnesota? I may be wrong about that. But anyway, I've seen just a little bit. So I'm not going on my own vision or having seen and noticed necessarily what you noticed. I just know this, like, when you get to that level in the NFL, whether you get pressure on a quarterback or not, it just doesn't have anything to do with your formation. I don't want to try to sound like I'm trying to talk above your question. I'm not. I want you to understand what I'm saying is when you get to the NFL, everybody can do everything and are paid to do everything that you're asking them to do. There are no coaches designing tight formations that don't account for any blitz, anything they can bring. They account for it in some kind of way. And at that level, every quarterback's got to handle it, and every offensive line's got to be able to handle it. Again, I keep saying at that level, in the NFL, there's no such thing as, well, this bunch formation gives them a better chance to attack us, so we're going to spread it out more. They've got it all accounted for in the way they draw it up and the way they study it. And if you have a breakdown, somebody got beat, or the quarterback didn't throw it hot, or you didn't get it out on time. And frankly, the formation doesn't really have a lot to do with it at that level of football. It just doesn't. Thanks for the call, Rex. Good to hear from you. Unnamed, no, this is Bo. Matt, any update on the Ole Miss player yesterday? DeMarcus Thomas, injured yesterday. The media told about it by Lane Kiffin, the head coach. And then by last night, word had floated that he was doing much better. And everything I read about it is that it was a real scare, but that he's expected to be fine. Which, the way it all sounded yesterday, and then having to be airlifted to Memphis and all, that's a whole different deal right there. I mean, that's scary. That's a whole different kind of scary. And you saw a lot of reports yesterday about how Lane Kiffin was shaken up by, well, any coach would be shaken up by that whole experience, especially in practice. But all reports today are that he's going to be fine. Ready Teddy says, I asked the Lord to forgive us all for voting for crooked politicians in his house. Yay, JB, I caught a little bit of the gridiron today when they were on.
Yeah.
And they were talking about people at the Zone that would be the best candidate for president.
Yeah.
And they were talking about me, and then it dawned on me, and I sent Brooks a text. I said, so you're saying we could have our first bald president? And when you think about it, name one politician who's either bald or shaves his head.
That's been president? Or you're saying politician?
Well, we could say politician, but let's say president. That's easier. Well, not, we go, there are no bald presidents. Never have been.
The closest one I can think of would be FDR. But he still had a little comb over going.
Yeah. Well, think about this. Maybe our current president is bald. I'm honest. Now, that hair on top of his head didn't grow up there. Stick around.
See ya.
I don't know about you.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
Bull. There's a lot of that out there in the wireless world. But C-Spire believes that you deserve a plan that is what it actually says it is. Here's the real deal. The best plan for 1 or 2 lines. Unlimited talk and text with 10 gigabytes of high-speed data. And here's the real deal. $45 per line with autopay and paperless billing. Even without autopay, it's just $50. Now, how's that for the fine print? No bull. That's the real deal. Switch to C-Spire today at cspire.com/real deal. C-Spire, customer inspired. Man, that sounds like summertime in Mississippi, doesn't it?
You know what else just screams summertime in Mississippi? Country Pleasin' sausage from Country Meat Packers in Florence. Check me out. Jalapeno and cheddar. Just got it at Kroger in Tupelo where I live. On grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. Cut it up, throw it in the frying pan. Put it on a bun. Get some andouille, make some gumbo. It is the best sausage you've ever put in your mouth. Country Pleasin' sausage, countrypleasin.com. It is made up of hand-picked hams, bacon, and pork loin. That's why it tastes so good. I even got this cool hat from them. Check them out. Go by the butcher shop there in Florence, or order it online, or look for it in grocery stores. Walk up in there and say, Country Pleasin', please.
A lot of people in the equipment world, things kind of go in trends, I guess, if you want to say it. So kind of the first big thing for 2020 that we look at when we start evaluating our business is going to be our turf equipment. That's kind of the first big push, because once everything, the water dries up and the grass starts growing, this is what everybody's looking to get. We carry the new Wyatt stand-up mower. Doesn't look like much and it's dirty as all get out, but this thing is, and it costs just as much as zero turn. Not a cheap unit at all. I mean, if you go out there and look at that zero turn, this thing right here, I mean, it's got all your components from your big pumps to your commercial engine to your large steel deck. And these guys were the first ones to make the standard mower.
Hey, are you buying land or selling it?
Look, I respect the office of president. That's all it is. And I'm just saying, JB, I wasn't picking just to pick. I'm just saying, honestly, they brought it up about.
Hey, look, man, if you have to apologize for saying that about his hair, then Jimmy Fallon and all those late night talk shows are going in for the rest of their lives to the federal pen.
Right. The point was, I couldn't think of any bald presidents. And I thought today, as I was walking and I heard them say that, I thought, doggone, that eliminates me and Brooks. Mm-hmm. Nobody's voting for us for anything because we don't have hair. That was my point on that. And then I start trying to go deeper, and I go, now, wait a minute. Maybe technically, Donald Trump is bald. It's not a hair piece. It's just hair that is brought in from some other part of the head. That's what it is. And
that effervescent comb over.
And buddy, let me tell you, whoever's doing the glue job, I want them doing my glue job when I decide to grow out my hair and swoop it up on top of my head, because it doesn't move sometimes.
Swoop it.
I don't know if he's in there, but Macho Randingo on the live stream. What a name, huh? Here's the all-name teamer. Macho Randingo says John Adams, John Quincy Adams, Martin Van Buren, Grover Cleveland, and Gerald Ford were all bald. Hold on a minute. Are we sure? I've seen pictures of John Adams. He's got white curly hair. What did they used to call those? A powdered wig?
Yeah.
So they didn't have hair, they were bald, and they just put the wig on, right? Gerald Ford, I'm not sure I realized that Gerald Ford was bald.
He wasn't bald. He still had hair on the sides of his head and the back.
Well, but we're talking about on top.
Yeah, but I mean, when you say bald,
you're thinking.
I mean, you and
zip.
Brooks. I mean, yeah.
See, I could grow it. I got all kinds of hair on the side and the back, and I could grow it until I got tired of growing it. It's just on top. It's fuzzy, and really, you can't even tell it's up there. And here's the other thing about it.
A smattering.
Okay, a bald person like me running for office. Here's what I want to know. A bald person like me running for office. Am I more likely to be elected if I go with what I am, and that's bald, or if I put a hairpiece in?
Oh, man.
Tell the truth.
The first one.
See, that's what I think, but that's the way I feel. But the pragmatic, the analytical, the left side of my brain says, no. You put hair up there, lots more people will vote for you.
No, then people will think you're fake.
Well, you are fake. But so what? I mean, this is politics we're talking about here.
Oh, no, we need somebody real, man. I tell you what, I haven't voted yet.
Mm-hmm.
I might just write your name in. Who you want as vice president? Because if I write you in, you got to have a VP. How about Brooks?
Kanye.
No.
Kanye to be my vice.
I want two bald-headed guys.
Yeah. Okay.
That way, if one of you gets taken out, then the other one comes in and you still got bald guy.
Okay, well, Brooks then can be the VP. But don't tell him that. He'll think I'm in here trying to one-up him, because he was talking about himself would be a great president.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he's got the love of self down.
He's got that part of it. Well, according to our listeners, there were people. Caleb says Eisenhower was close to bald. Caleb says, check out a picture of Van Buren and ponder why he was the only unmarried president.
Hey, since we're talking presidential things, one of the things that a lot of people may not know about Eleanor Roosevelt is that she was FDR's fifth cousin down the line.
Come on.
Yeah. She was actually Teddy Roosevelt's niece.
Really?
Yeah. And she married FDR, who was a distant cousin.
Annie just walked in the studio. We've been
We're talking about lineage, family lineage.
Well, not necessarily lineage,
but baldness and all that.
Yeah. What we started with, Annabeth, was can a person be elected, particularly as a president, and be bald?
Y'all are talking about politics today.
Well, it's vote day. It's election day. I started the show this way.
You have on your red, white, and blue hat.
Yeah.
For the flag.
My red, white, and blue country pleasing hat.
Yeah.
Country pleasing. I started the show this way. Welcome to the Matt Wyatt Show coverage of Election Day 2020.
Nice.
That's how we started.
I like it.
So, but then it has devolved since then. And what we are on now.
Hair?
Okay.
Because of Trump's hair? You're talking about Trump's hair?
No,
hair?
That came up. Trump's hair did come up.
Okay.
The deal was Chris on the gridiron today, and I heard it. I was out walking. I heard him bring up my name. And he was talking about him. He said people at the radio station who could be president. And he started talking about himself. My immediate thought was
president of what? America?
Of America. Like if Chris became president, and then I go, well, he'd be the first bald president. And then he talks about me being president.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I text him first bald president, and then it starts hitting me. Have we ever had a bald president?
Well, I don't.
Here's what we came up with.
I don't think so. I don't know.
On the live stream,
not in our lifetime. Was that rude? Did that come out wrong?
On the live stream,
I was caught off guard.
On the live stream, Macho Randingo says, John Adams, John Quincy Adams, Martin Van Buren, Grover Cleveland, and Gerald Ford were bald.
Okay, then.
JB goes, Gerald Ford wasn't bald. He had hair on the side and the back. I went, well, I've got hair on the side and the back.
Yeah,
we're talking about
hair.
on top.
Oh.
Being bald, no hair on top. Eisenhower, Caleb said he was pretty close to bald. I'm thinking about Dwight Eisenhower. I can see that. But then Trump, I go, let's see here, though. And technically, he's probably bald because the hair that's on top didn't grow up there.
You don't know that, man.
I do know it.
Well,
look, I got half a brain and
judge.
one eye. I know it. I'm not judging at all. I'm actually
He's just
impressed.
making an observation.
I'm actually impressed that whoever glues it, it stays glued. It's amazing. I want them gluing mine if I ever decide to grow it out and swoop it.
I'll take note.
You know what that reminds me of? That little front porch he has. Ministers of music in Baptist churches back in the 70s.
Yeah. Back in the 70s?
There you go.
They had that front porch out there.
Little front porch.
It'd be pouring down rain, and their face would be dry as a bone.
You remember the in the 80s, the teenage girls had their version of that, the little poof ball up on bangs, the poof bangs?
There was nothing little about it.
You had it.
I had it.
Big hair.
Yeah.
Hey.
And you'd spend a long time on your bangs, and you'd get the curling iron, and you do it in levels.
Hey,
you'd
JB,
curl it in levels.
I've seen pictures of Annabeth from like when 6th grade, late 80s.
A lot of bangs.
A lot of bangs. Yeah. She was red hair, all bangs, and red lipstick.
A lot of lipstick.
Oh, that was a thing.
Well, you ought to be glad because she's a pretty lady now.
Oh, JB's always so sweet. JB would get my vote for president.
Well, he was asking who would be my
VP.
my VP, and he brought up Brooks. The whole time, though, I was thinking JB would be, because then he'd balance out the hair thing.
I agree.
He would definitely
surely I
balance
would
it
be
out.
picked for the cabinet.
Yeah, you'd be chief of staff.
What kind of position would you want?
Well, I would be first lady, I guess.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You'd be first lady, but
this is invigorating radio.
I want to be press
radio talk
secretary
today.
so I can deal with the media.
Tell you what, man, it's not. But here's another reason we got, honestly, with a couple minutes left here in the first hour, here's another reason why. Obviously, it is election day,
right,
so we talked about it. But towards the beginning of the show, I'm not going to say on air who it was, but somebody we both know, JB knows him, sent a text and with a link to a news story and said, "I'm done. Consider me officially done with the CDC. I'm out."
With what? Oh, the CDC.
This is someone who has been kind of, PC, and I'm not going to tell people they shouldn't wear masks and all this. It was a link to a story from the New York Post that said, according to the Center for Disease Control, people who have coronavirus and are quarantined, coronavirus patients, can break quarantine to go vote in person.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Was it a real article?
Well, we debated that.
Maybe it was fake.
Well, people told us.
Fake news.
Beware of fake news. It's the New York Post. But then somebody said they found it on Fox News.
Was it really from the New York Post?
Yeah, well, New York Post online.
No.
And it said the Center for Disease Control says coronavirus patients can break quarantine.
Glad to see the CDC wearing their political hat today. That's
vote
always,
in person. And I said, "What are we doing?" And this person said, "I'm out. I'm done."
So this spurred your political talk.
It sure did.
We've talked politics without really talking politics.
I know.
Yeah, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's probably the safest, best way to talk it.
Yeah.
You know?
I could just picture in my head coronavirus patient.
Oh my gosh.
Pale, sweaty, mask, the shield.
Hazmat suit,
and goes out and gets in line and is like, "Stay back. 6 feet, stay back."
Now when we go vote this afternoon, I'm going to be freaking out.
Stay back. I'm just here to vote.
I may wear a garbage bag around myself.
Take one of those wooden crosses. Just hold it out front.
6 feet. 6 feet.
Well, and look, Jason had a point. He texts in, he goes, well, LOL. He goes, the person with corona is much less dangerous than the 30 people in a 3-mile line.
Oh, you're probably right.
That have it and don't know it.
Oh, Matt. My anxiety level just went straight through the roof.
She's already freaking out.
Well, she was the voice of calm when she came in. Now we freaked her out.
No, we're going to have to.
I'm going to go Germex my hands real quick.
We're going to pray during
snakes.
the break. Pray for peace.
Pray for peace.
All right. Hour 2 coming up. Y'all stick around.
It's been a few months since you hired.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
Bull.
There's a lot of that out there in the wireless world. But C Spire believes that you deserve a plan that is what it actually says it is. Here's the real deal. The best plan for 1 or 2 lines. Unlimited talk and text with 10 gigabytes of high-speed data. And here's the real deal. $45 per line with autopay and paperless billing. Even without autopay, it's just $50. Now, how's that for the fine print? No bull. That's the real deal. Switch to C Spire today at cspire.com/real deal. C Spire, customer inspired. Man, that sounds like summertime in Mississippi, doesn't it? You know what else just screams summertime in Mississippi? Country pleasing sausage from Country Meat Packers in Florence. Check me out. Jalapeno and cheddar. Just got it at Kroger in Tupelo where I live. On grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. Cut it up, throw it in the frying pan. Put it on a bun. Get some andouille, make some gumbo. It is the best sausage you've ever put in your mouth. Country Pleasing Sausage, countrypleasing.com. It is made up of hand-picked hams, bacon, and pork loin. That's why it tastes so good. I even got this cool hat from them. Check them out. Go by the butcher shop there in Florence, or order it online, or look for it in grocery stores. Walk up in there and say, Country Pleasing, please.
A lot of people in the equipment world, you know, things kind of go in trends, I guess, if you want to say it. So kind of the first big thing for 2020 that we look at when we start evaluating our business is going to be our turf equipment. That's kind of the first big push, because once everything, the water dries up and the grass starts growing, this is what everybody's looking to get. We carry the new Wyatt stand-up mower. Doesn't look like much, and it's dirty as all get out. But this thing is, and it costs just as much as zero turn. Not a cheap unit at all. I mean, if you go out there and look at that zero turn, this thing right here, I mean, it's got all your components from your big pumps to your commercial engine to your large steel deck. And these guys were the first ones to make the standard mower.
Hey, are you buying land or selling it? You need to let Matt Anderson with National Land Realty help you out. Matt Anderson Properties. Here's what Matt can do. If you're buying land, you can view the property without ever setting foot on it. They've got the 360-degree interactive drone touring. It's really cool. You got to check it out. And if you're selling property, Matt's going to get you consistent reports, comprehensive reports of who's looking, how many people looked at your listing. You need to let him help you. Matt Anderson Properties with National Land Realty. Call him, 601-408-5155. Hey, if you listen to the show, you know that the new third hour of the Matt Wyatt Show is brought to you by Overstreet Properties in Starkville. Here's what you need to know. If you're looking for a weekend home or condo, full-time residence, investment property, maybe just an apartment to lease, you got a student going to school at State, call Kane Overstreet at Overstreet Properties. In Starkville, it's 323-8618, or look them up online, overstreetproperties.com.
On your radio at ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
All right, I got another funny story for you. Compliments of the homecoming queen. She's here. Hey, y'all. Hour 2 of the show. Just getting started. I'm Matt. JB is here. Homecoming queen. HQ. Annie is here. Most importantly, you are here. Appreciate you listening, tuning in, wherever. You can comment on the live stream. You can text the show on the Country Please and text at 885-ESPN. 885-ESPN. Or call me on the Davini phone. Davini Equipment, Madison and Jackson. 995-1059. That is a 601 number. So, during the commercial, and I'm paraphrasing, she's kind of like, well, so politics, huh? The president election, the whole first hour? You talk some football? You talk any football, Matt?
I'm just trying to keep you on track.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, well, we didn't quite get around to it.
It's my job in life.
Well, let me tell you this while you're trying to get him on track. I assume Annie is a name that not many people call you but Matt and maybe your family.
Yeah, my mom always called me that my whole life.
I said that on the air one time, and Annabeth went, they don't know me as Annie.
Yeah, nobody knows me as that except my family.
Well, I'll tell you this: one of my favorite songs of all the time is John Denver's Annie's song.
Annie.
Have you heard that before?
I don't know if I've heard that.
Oh my!
The sun will come out.
Well, yeah.
Is that the one we're talking about?
Oh, absolutely not. And it's not sunshine on my shoulders because that makes me sunburned. It's Annie's song.
Oh,
you
look
fill up my senses.
Oh, yeah.
Like a night in the
Oh, wait. Yes, I do. I love that song.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I do. I don't think I realized that was.
John Denver is who I remember singing that.
That's correct. He wrote it. Yeah, man.
I can just hear. I think I saw him perform that on the Muppet Show one time.
What?
John Denver used to go on a Muppet Show all the time. Yeah.
Well, aren't you going to tell the sports news? I thought I'd just broken for you over the commercial break.
Here's what happened.
I thought I'd found something online.
Y'all are sitting here talking about me getting off track, and both of you got me off track.
Sorry. It's easy to do.
All right. Here's what happened, JB. She says, football? You talk about some football? I was like, yeah, there's plenty we can talk about. I said, Cotton Hill officially opted out, and I just kind of start sipping my coffee. I didn't know it. Annabeth starts flipping through her phone from C Spire, looking for possible topics.
Like you really needed me to do that. I was just trying to be helpful.
She's trying to be helpful. Bless her heart.
There you go.
And she says, here's the new top 25 is out.
Came out an hour ago.
Came out an hour ago in college football. You can talk about that. And I went, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I pick up my cup of High Point Roasters in New Albany. High Point Roasters at highpointroasters.com. Get your coffee there. You'll be glad you did. I pick it up and I go, take another sip. And she goes, Mississippi State is in the top 25? They're number 18? What?
Well, it lists them as number 18.
And I paused, and she says,
basketball poll?
She says, oh, wait, that's the bottom 25 of college football. And I said,
my bad.
Yeah, that's the last. That's the last 20. It was almost like it was so perfectly timed in the delivery. It was almost like she did it on purpose.
No.
Oh yeah.
And then she goes, and then she waits 30 seconds and goes, "Well, Ole Miss is not in this list." I said, "No, it's the bottom 25. They're pretty decent. They're halfway up somewhere."
Well, Vanderbilt rounds out the SEC. They're in it. So at least there's friends. SEC friends are in there together.
And State hosts them this weekend at 2:30.
You can hear the headlines now. At Davis Wade Stadium this weekend, the bottom 25 matchup.
Number
the Vanderbilt Commodores in the air, grounded.
Wait, number 18 versus number, let's see, what is Vanderbilt? I can't find them now. Oh, they're number 6.
They're the 6th worst, or they're higher ranked than State, I wonder.
I don't really understand this. UMass is number 1.
Ah, I see. Okay. The bottom 25.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Annie.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I could bring that to your show today.
You fill up our senses with disdain and hurt and pain and agony.
Is ranked 18th? What is State doing ranked 8? Oh, it's the bottom 25.
I didn't read the headline.
Thanks a lot there.
CBS.
Thought that, or it was after the
CBS
LSU
Sports.
game.
CBSSports.com.
Coffee Norman on the Country Pleasing text line gave us a compliment. He says, Matt, okay, listen, this bald president talk is why I'm here. I'm serious. He gives me laughing emoji and says Annabeth should have a segment every day. You married up.
That's sweet.
Like me.
That's sweet.
A couple of things here. Jackson Mailman says, do you have an update on the condition of Cameron Dantzler after his injury for the Vikings? I don't. I have not seen an update today. Mailman, I get it. I'll pass it along to you.
Mailman was also Carl Malone, right?
Carl Malone was the mailman.
I always liked him.
Utah Jazz.
I always liked him, the mailman. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Louisiana Tech boy.
He is a Louisiana. And Jimmy Kimmel used to do a very funny skit where he would impersonate Karl Malone.
Oh, really?
And he got himself in
big trouble?
Well, the thing is, he did it 20 years ago, and frankly, nobody batted an eye at it. But he basically, to impersonate him, he put on a basketball uniform. They painted his whole body basically dark skin.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like the full body equivalent of sort of not blackface, but, all of that.
Not okay.
And then he had to apologize for it. He sure did.
I always liked Shaq.
Yes.
How could you not like Shaq from LSU? Everybody loved him.
Well, he's just funny. He's always been funny.
But it was Kazam, too, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love Shaq.
What a terrible movie.
What about, what was the other basketball movie with Mike? Was it Michael Jordan?
Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Well, another
Shaq was also in Blue Chips with Nick Nolte.
Yeah, a very realistic movie. Big basketball recruit walks outside and there's a brand new blue pickup truck parked in the driveway. There it is.
Lots of money inside.
Not a Dodge Charger, but the equivalent.
I know you're reading your text messages.
Yeah, let me get here. Jason from Scott County says, you really should come on down here to Scott County and check out the Scott Central Rebels. Powerhouse 2A team with an awesome Christian man for a head coach. Now, so 2A, and did I see that Scott County is hosting in the playoffs this Friday night? What I had mentioned, Andy, somebody asked me, and I hadn't 100% come up with it, but I was about 99% sure I'm going to go to Enterprise.
Yeah, that's right.
Right outside of Meridian this Friday night for the
right
Hometown Heroes video for this week. Kind of dual purpose. I thought I did see that Scott Central, the playoffs thing, I wanted to take a look at that today, and we'll do it maybe in hour 3 just to go ahead and begin to get familiar with what's going on in high school football. And it's always been hard to grasp in the state of Mississippi because everybody starts the playoffs at different times, depending on what classification you're in. You still have the regular season going for 6A, 5A, I think 1A. This week, 2A, 3A, 4A, the playoffs begin.
Right. And then throw in coronavirus, like Warren Central, they don't even know who they're going to play.
Right. Well, and I saw where it had Shannon listed as having a playoff game this week on the road. But Shannon didn't get to play this past Friday night against Pontotoc because of Corona.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
So I'm assuming they're also out this week. Well, if you're out for a playoff game...
What happens?
You're done.
Yeah.
That's it. The end.
Really?
Yeah. It's over. That's my understanding. Because when you don't play because your team is
in
quarantine or whatever, they put it in as a forfeit and the other team wins like 2-0.
Well, maybe they should contact the CDC, and the CDC would tell them, just go ahead and do it.
Because it was just tweeted to me from Jimmy that story, people can make fun of the New York Post, it's on the CDC website.
Oh, no.
Right here, I'm looking at it.
Oh, no.
CDC.gov. Tips for voters to reduce the spread of COVID-19. You start reading through it, wash your hands, avoid close contact.
But go vote.
Let me get down here.
Do you have to tell everybody that you have coronavirus when you go vote then? Is there a line for people that are positive?
Well, yeah, people that are positive. But see,
line up here.
Listen, I'm not going to read everything, but I'm going to tell you what's in these bullet points. We need to get this out there if it's legit. If it's not, it needs to be pointed out one way or the other. All right,
if you're reading it off the website.
But it's a little lengthy, so I've got to paraphrase the bullet points.
You're going to read the whole thing?
No, just the bullet points here.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Tips for voters to reduce the spread of COVID-19 steps. Here we go. When voting, you can protect yourself and others. If you avoid close contact, 6 feet. Wear a mask around others. Okay. Take care when touching surfaces. Wash your hand. Something with 60% alcohol.
Yeah.
Check that you're registered. Bullet point number 1 before you vote. How to vote. We know all this whole deal. It does say if you live in a long-term care facility or similar place, you may be able to have supervised absentee voting.
Okay. Move on.
Where you can vote. Number 4 is plan how you can get to your place to vote in the safest way possible. Okay, whatever. Number 5, plan for someone to take care of your loved ones. 6, be prepared so you can limit the time you are in your voting place. This will help prevent the spread. But I still don't see anything about patience. The day you vote, voters have the right to vote, regardless of whether they are sick or in quarantine. Here it is.
Oh, gosh.
On the CDC website, voters who are sick or in quarantine should take steps to protect poll workers and other voters. This includes wearing a mask, staying at least 6 feet away from others, and washing your hands or using hand sanitizer before and after voting. You should also let poll workers know that you are sick or in quarantine when you arrive at the polling location.
Nobody's going to do that.
Check with local authorities for any additional guidance. They are saying,
go ahead and vote.
If you are in quarantine, you may leave and break quarantine to go vote. That is what they're saying. In person. I guess if you haven't already done the mail thing, obviously. If you've mailed it in, you took care of it. But that would have been knowing it ahead of time.
I'm not sure I have the words for this. This is disturbing. This is a little bit disturbing. I'm sorry.
But you still got to go vote this afternoon.
Yeah, I am. Matt, I mean, what are we going to do?
You can get a hazmat suit.
Listen, Matt knows I'm a complete germaphobe. But I've been that way before Corona hit.
You're not nearly as bad as you think you are. I know people who are a lot worse germaphobes than you.
A college roommate of mine who lives in Oxford, she texted me months ago and said, I feel like you have been preparing your whole life for this pandemic because I'm the only one who always has Germ-X, who always made everybody use it. And gosh,
I'm with you, man. I keep a couple bottles in my car.
Yes. Mary Liddy wears a necklace with a Germ-X bottle on it every day.
Every day.
She wears a little lanyard.
And JB, here's the thing too. Like they said, Annabeth is because of the washing hands and sanitizer and germ stuff. She's been preparing for this forever. And then they go, well, you should stay 6 feet away from everybody. I'm like, well, I've been preparing for that my whole life.
Yeah, you have.
Because I don't go to gatherings and I don't go plan parties. I don't go to parties and I don't hang out.
Matt's not Mr. Social, everyone.
But now, in reality, I am very social and I don't mind it.
You don't.
It's that I don't, this quote-unquote thing of hang out.
Yeah, you're not a big...
I don't do it. I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. Anytime I've ever
come down
been
here and chill with me and hang out with me?
Chill is not something I do. If I chill, I go sleep, and that has a purpose.
That's why I fell asleep in the Grove, JB.
Naps have a purpose. Just hanging out. That's the thing about tailgating.
He can't do it. It's not in his makeup.
Well, I can't do it
because he feels like he could be doing something else that would be more productive.
There's always a better way to spend your time than just hanging out.
Okay.
And like it in tailgating. People come by. I've seen it with my own eyes. People come by. Total strangers. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Oh, I'm fine. What do you think? Boy, it's a nice day we're having, ain't it? It's beautiful weather. Yeah, it's beautiful weather.
Matt, that's just called being hospitable.
Boy, this is great. I sure do like this. And you got some food? You want some chicken? No, I don't want any chicken. I'm good. I don't want any. And guess what? And then they walk away, and both of them pretend like they enjoyed that.
No, that's not true. My parents always would invite the enemy, the opponent.
Y'all come on in. The more the merrier.
Under our tent. They would always say, hey, how are y'all? Would y'all like something to eat? That's just the way, Matt. That's just the Southern way. It's just the Southern way. Get over it.
I started just basically in a nice way saying what I'm really thinking. Who are you? My name's Matt.
What do you want with me?
My name's Matt. What's your name? Can I help you?
My name's Matt. Did you know that Mississippi State is in the top 25 this year?
No, they're not. The bottom 25. All right, she's getting me back on the sports topic. I just wanted to pass that along, so apparently it's a real deal. The CDC.
I'll be prepared. I'll have Germex. There's a really cool kid here in Tupelo, JB, named Thomas Roper. He started his own hand sanitizer company. It's really taken off. It's called Clean.
Yeah.
CLEAN. He's got all kinds of flavors. I mean,
really?
Yes, jelly bean,
so this
vanilla.
is not going to be like the Cascade pods, is it? Tide pods?
No, it's little sprays. It's little sprays, but they smell so good. I'll have to get you some. All kinds of different.
You could use some here in the studio.
I'll have to get you some. We have several.
Smells like a fish died.
I'll have to get you some.
Yeah, a bottle of sanitizer does not stay in that studio very long because reportedly
it's stolen.
Chris Brooks takes them home.
Oh, wow.
All right, well, let me ask you this. Hey, HQ, how long are you going to be with us?
I'm leaving in a minute. I've got to go.
All right, so can I just tell you what Jake brought in the studio this afternoon?
What?
He brought potted meats.
What?
Like devil's ham.
Yeah.
3 different kinds of Vienna sausages. What? Sardines.
Why?
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Well, is he going to eat it?
I don't know. He said something about beaver eating it.
Really?
Is that Beaver's preference, those potted meats?
I don't
think
know.
I've ever said the words potted
Potted
meats
meats.
until this conversation.
I mean, I've eaten my share of Vienna sausages.
I remember when I was little, I'd eat Vienna sausages.
You know that deviled spam or ham?
Yeah, I've
comes
never
with
had
the wrapped up paper thing in the it's. I tell you what I'll do, man.
Is it just sitting in the studio?
Well, no, he just brought it in and put it down. So I'm grateful he hasn't opened it yet.
Oh yeah, don't open those sardines, brother.
You'll have to leave. You'll have to leave.
I don't really mind sardines. I like as far as eating them, but I don't want to open a can in the office.
I've never eaten a sardine in my life.
Yeah, you haven't?
No.
We need to change that.
Why would I eat a sardine?
JB, I got a good idea for a series on YouTube that would get a million clicks. Is Homecoming Queen tries new food with parentheses. Tonight
with quotes,
it's sardines.
Quotes,
yeah, with quotes. Tonight she tries sardines, and we film it and put it on YouTube. Tomorrow night,
a segment once a week on this show with her doing
absolutely. Next week it is turnip greens.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't think.
I think it's a great idea.
Do you not eat turnip greens?
No.
See, I didn't eat them either till I had a stroke.
I'm not a big vegetable
the first
eater.
meal while I was in the hospital after I had a stroke, they brought me
turnip greens.
And I was
now
dying.
You love them.
Yeah, you put enough Tabasco on them, and
they taste okay.
That ruins them. You don't need no Tabasco on turnip greens.
Yeah. I don't know about this.
What is that?
Sauce.
There is a brand of canned, vegetables. Like you can get peas and different things. And I'm trying to think, what's the brand? It's like it's Miss Gloria or something. I'll have to look it up and make sure. But there's a,
Oh, and I got you some.
Just like
greens.
like you get Del Monte, English peas.
I got you some, didn't I?
Right, LeSueur early peas in the silver can.
Yeah, like LeSueur in the sewer. So different brands. This is a brand of canned stuff, and I've got to look it up and get that. But they make a brand of already seasoned turnip greens, and it's the best ones I've ever had out of a can.
Come on.
Bless his heart. He does eat things out of a can sometimes. I don't always cook.
Oh, how else am I going to eat them?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to cook them. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know how to cook turnip greens.
That's the worst smell in the world when those things are cooking.
Danny on the live stream. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to tell you, my mom used to cook those things in a pressure cooker in the whole house.
Oh, yeah. Danny on the live stream says, in China, he had grub worms. So they tasted like pasta.
No.
In South Africa, he had chocolate-covered crickets, and it wasn't too bad.
No. No.
In regards to bald politicians, look, while you're here, we'll do sports later.
This is going straight down. How much longer on this segment?
2 minutes.
You already updated everybody. The Ole Miss football player was
He's
okay.
Good. Yes.
He's good.
Listen, stop worrying so much about having to be sports all the time. There's a lot of stuff on this show that we do that's interesting. That's not sports. Don't let it bother you. Louvier says, in the 18th and early 19th centuries, the rich dudes wore wigs. So who knows if they were bald or not. That's what they said about John Adams. They're like, no, he had white curly hair.
Well,
that wasn't his hair. It was a wig, a powdered wig. Anthony confirming it, Garfield and Eisenhower. Yeah. Jesse Ventura, former governor of Minnesota. He was a wrestler before that. Slick ball.
Jesse Ventura. I forgot about him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jesse Ventura. Denzel said, wait, we get another segment of the Homecoming Queen. Outstanding.
Outstanding.
They love you on this show.
Bald politicians.
Rep Dog said, if you need a follically challenged vice president to write in, I'm available.
I love his use of words there. Follically challenged.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I get that a lot on this show. I'm kind of used to it.
Follically challenged?
Yeah, that means you're bald.
I know, but it was very PC of him.
Eric says, y'all are going to make Corona Bro in Flagstaff cry if you keep pointing out the CDC's hypocrisy. Yeah, Jason in Flagstaff, you hear that? And then unnamed text, no, this is Jason. Jason said, another Jason said, the 2-0 forfeiture over a false negative junk is such boo-boo. He didn't like it. False negatives. So we may get a rebuttal here from Jason in Flagstaff. He's listening. He's on the Country Pleasing text line. And in just a sec, coming straight to you, more Bully, Bulldog Neil, all y'all, as Neil Price would say, on the Davini Equipment phone, coming to y'all. HQ, thanks for stopping by.
It's been real.
Hey, you got your Tupelo shirt on? I got mine on.
We're just the home team today. Hometown heroes.
Like Farm Bureau.
You're the best side of that hometown hero.
She sure is.
I order all the Tupelo logo stuff.
Yeah, and she just filled the house full of groceries, so I'm really
Country Pleasing sausage, I got some.
Jalapeno and cheddar?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm really starting to like that one as my favorite.
All right, y'all stick around.
This portion
Farm
of
Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
Bull. There's a lot of that out there in the wireless world. But C Spire believes that you deserve a plan that is what it actually says it is. Here's the real deal. The best plan for 1 or 2 lines. Unlimited talk and text with 10 gigabytes of high-speed data. And here's the real deal. $45 per line with auto pay and paperless billing. Even without auto pay, it's just $50. Now, how's that for the fine print? No bull. That's the real deal. Switch to C Spire today at cspire.com/real deal. C Spire, customer inspired. Man, that sounds like summertime in Mississippi, doesn't it? You know what else just screams summertime in Mississippi? Country Pleasing sausage from Country Meat Packers in Florence. Check me out. Jalapeno and cheddar. Just got it at Kroger in Tupelo where I live. On grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. Cut it up, throw it in the frying pan. Put it on a bun. Get some andouille, make some gumbo. It is the best sausage you've ever put in your mouth. Country Pleasing sausage, countrypleasing.com. It is made up of hand-picked hams, bacon, and pork loin. That's why it tastes so good. I even got this cool hat from them. Check them out. Go by the butcher shop there in Florence, or order it online, or look for it in grocery stores. Walk up in there and say, Country Pleasing, please.
lot of people in the equipment world, things kind of go in trends, I guess, if you want to say it. So kind of the first big thing for 2020 that we look at when we start evaluating our business is going to be our turf equipment. That's kind of the first big push, because once everything, the water dries up and the grass starts growing, this is what everybody's looking to get. We carry the new Wyatt stand-up mower. Doesn't look like much, and it's dirty as all get out. But this thing is, and it costs just as much as zero turn. Not a cheap unit at all. I mean, if you go out there and look at that zero turn, this thing right here, I mean, it's got all your components from your big pumps to your commercial engine to your large steel deck. And these guys were the first ones to make the standard mower.
Hey, are you buying land or selling it? You need to let
your
Matt
radio
in.
At ESPN 105.9, The Zone.
All right, back with y'all. There is a little news out there in the college football world here today. Kylan Hill, it's official, put out a statement. He is officially opting out. Even though we kind of knew it, it is official. I'll miss getting to see him hurdle people out on the field. That was always fun to watch. You knew it was coming eventually. Also, let's see, was it Purdue? Yeah, Purdue and Wisconsin have had to cancel their game for this weekend. There will not be a makeup because of the COVID outbreak at Wisconsin, among other things that are out there. Some schools are starting to put out information about attendance for basketball, all that kind of stuff. So plenty of that to get into. First, though, Davini Equipment phone line, More Bully, hanging on the line. Thanks for calling, More Bully. What's up?
Rat-a-tat-tat. What about it, Matt? That's off the cuff, too.
Was that really off the cuff? Because it didn't sound like it was off the cuff. It is funny, though. I'll give you that.
Off the cuff. Off the cuff.
What's
hey,
up?
Me and you have something in common, and I can one-up you on something.
All right.
We're both biblically challenged.
Mm-hmm.
And according to many callers into this show and other shows, I'm intelligent challenged as well. So, there you go.
Yeah, I got that in common with you also.
Don't you mean intellectually challenged, Jake?
See what we mean?
See what I mean? Yeah. Hey, I didn't get to listen much yesterday, and you may have covered this, but I just have a question that you can probably explain better than anybody. That is, why did he keep calling that play of that dump pass just by chance hoping we're going to outrun Alabama? I mean, it's 2 yards in a cloud of dust. Our offense is 2 yards in a cloud of tacklers.
Hey, More Bully. Yesterday, I had a friend text me and it said, "We don't run the air raid. We run the air." He said, "We run the air charade." And I'm gonna swear. I swear that sounds like something you would say. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Well, it's true. That's a good way to put it.
Well, look,
I was thinking about that.
That is built into what they're doing. Okay, it's a check down, kind of a safe, get me out of here play for the quarterback. It's not you're not drawing it up with the design to throw it to that running back every single time. Okay, you're taking it if the defense gives that to you. That's kind of what that is.
You're taking what the offense didn't let you do. The offensive line is not letting you do what you want to do.
Right. Hey, hang on 1 second.
I was just thinking about that.
All right, so go ahead, More Bullet. Yeah, I was trying to get the homecoming queen's attention real quick. Go ahead.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
Yeah, all right, she's here. Here's what. See, More Bully, what you don't know is we have other callers hanging on, including Gator Greg, who specified he has a question for Annabeth.
How's Gator Greg?
She had put the headset down and walked away, and I had to flag her down real quick. I'm sorry about that. That's what was going on.
In other words, More Bully, shut up and hang up so we can get to Gator Greg.
No. I had to get Annabeth's attention.
Fine, whatever. Listen, I want you to do me a favor too.
Okay.
I want you to start a college baseball countdown.
Oh, you do?
Because I'm done.
That's funny.
I pay attention from a distance.
That's funny.
Like my friend, one of my good friends used to be here with Hal Mummy. He was his defensive coordinator, and he when Hal left, he got a job at SMU. So I've been keeping up with them for the last 3 years, and it looks like they're my home team this year.
Okay.
So yeah, dude, let's do a baseball countdown. Preview the SEC.
Okay.
Whatever.
I'm going to tweet that. I'm going to tweet that. Caller. Quotations. I want you to start doing a baseball countdown. ... Because I'm done.
I'm done.
Quote of the day.
I appreciate the call.
Hey, you can tag me, man. I'm more bully.
Okay. At More Bully. Right. I'm going to tag you.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. It's like my last name, Moore, not M-O-R-E.
Gotcha. All right. Got it.
All right, brother.
See you, man.
See you, JB.
All right. Hey, and since Annabeth's got to split, but JB, can we jump out of order? I hope Bulldog Neil would understand just real quick because Gator Greg's got a question for Annabeth before she has to go. Can we do that?
Absolutely.
All right.
Go ahead.
Greg, thanks for calling. You have the floor with the homecoming queen.
Hey, Gator Greg.
It's so great to hear your voice there.
It's good to hear you. How are you?
I've been fine. Hopefully we'll catch up maybe with you next time in Starkville or Tupelo.
I
got to ask you, do you think Ole Miss, if you like me, I think Ole Miss can maybe go to 3-1 down the stretch, be 5-5. Is Lane Kiffin your SEC Coach of the Year? I like the guy at Missouri and I like the guy at Arkansas, but I like Lane too. I want to know your impression of the college football season. And go Gators. Always great to hear from the homecoming queen, the true first family, or first lady of Mississippi State football. You heard that first, folks. You guys have a great show.
Thanks, Gator Greg. Wow, that was a hard question.
The true first lady of Mississippi State football.
Mississippi State football. I don't know. I kind of think that. I can't think of the Arkansas coach's name. It just left me.
Sam Pittman.
I feel like he's done really great things there. I feel like he'll probably win, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean,
only won head-to-head against Lane Kiffin.
Poor Lane Kiffin. I don't know if he'll win that.
He stopped the Lane train.
He stopped it. It derailed. That's what my dad would go as an old railroad guy. Okay. Derailed. I don't know. Lane Kiffin? What would you think?
Nah, as of right now, he's in the running for Coach of the Year, but he's not Coach of the Year as of right now.
And he mentioned the Missouri coach, and I'll never say anything good about Missouri because I still don't think they should be in the SEC. They're not in the Southeast. They shouldn't be in the SEC. So no for them, yes for Arkansas, maybe for Ole Miss.
I mean, let alone in the SEC, in the Eastern Division.
It's just garbage.
The only thing they're east of is, Arizona.
It's just garbage, yeah. They shouldn't be in the SEC.
Okay.
That was a good question from Gator Greg. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Gator Greg. And apologies, Bulldog Neil. I know you had to bounce there. Please call me back. I'll get better at this thing. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. It's totally fine. Well, he's a big boy. Neil, call us back if you get an opportunity. On the Davini Equipment phone line, 995-1059, 601 number, 995-1059. All right, Country Pleasing text line. Let's get into some of those. 885-ESPN, 885-ESPN. You're right. It's Gloria's is the brand. Now, I'm confused. Somebody said Gloria's canned vegetables, and they are already seasoned. It's really good, like black-eyed peas, everything. I was thinking a name of a person also, Gloria's. A couple of other people have said Glory. Rebel Rex said the brand is Glory. Another says Glory Foods. Also, Margaret Holmes brand. I agree. That's another one. It's either Gloria or Glory, but you go in, you see canned foods, and those turnip greens that are either Glory or Gloria's, whichever it is, get it. If you don't want it, save it for me. Jonathan, Country Pleasing Text, says, if HQ doesn't like non-sports talk, don't even tell her about Brooks. Listen, when she walked out of here after, about 20 minutes here of this hour, number 2, a little bit of sports, and she was just shaking her head. She's just like laughing, shaking her head. And I said, you can't take the way we were doing this show, can you? You can't stand it. And she says, Matt, it's just not good. I said, well, look, I know it's not hard football, like straight on X's and O's football and stuff. She goes, well, that's what people want to hear from you. And I was like, I said, you just have to understand, we do that most of the time, about 99% of the time. And then some days this happens. I said, you just happen to walk in here on election day, and it's just, we've been all over the place. She just shakes her head. She just doesn't get it. Oh, and when I told her, hey, you just happen to be here on election day, she goes, no, it's this way a lot of times when I listen. And I think
she has you confused with Brooks's show.
Well, maybe so. I don't know. Rebel Rex says, since your wife is there, let's see, you make a pie? What kind of pie? Banana split pie, caramel, peanut butter, Oreo. Ooh, peanut butter with Oreo crust?
Yeah, those are pretty stout.
Peanut butter pie with Oreo crust. Bring that on.
and glorious turnip greens while you're at it.
Bring that on. Look, I'm just being honest with you. Like, I'm a simple man, Leonard Skinner.
There you go.
I have a lot of times where I eat a meal, quote unquote meal, where I take 1 can of green beans, heat it, put it in a pot, heat them up. 1 can of like black-eyed peas or turnip greens or something, put them in another pot, heat them up, and I eat all of it. No meat, no chicken, no cornbread. I want vegetables on my plate, and I eat them all up.
So basically, you get instead of getting the meat in 3, you just get the 3.
I just need the 3. I have no interest in being a vegetarian. You know, I'll eat the meat when it's here, but there are times when I'm craving butter beans.
Well, that's good for you, man. Veggies are good for you.
Rich from Moorville said, Matt, do you have the HQ on the show to try to expand your voter base? I mean, listener base? He says, trying to reach the fairer sex. She definitely adds to the show. There's no question. There's no question she adds to the show. And I've told her.
She does have a great voice, man.
Well, and a great personality. And I've told her that she needs to be a permanent part of the show, either that or doing her own show or her own podcast. She's made for it. But in her mind, she is a full-time mom, and that's all she is. That's all she wants to be. She don't want to fool with any of this full-time.
Let her be what she wants to be. It'd be good for all y'all.
She'll pop in when she feels like it. Was that a Beatles song?
Football.
Let Her Be?
What's that?
A Beatles song,
Yeah.
Let Her Be?
Let it be.
Let it be.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
But sometimes you might want to let her be. It's not Christmas yet, but it might as well be at Live Oaks Golf Club in Jackson.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
Bull. There's a lot of that out there in the wireless world. But C Spire believes that you deserve a plan that is what it actually says it is. Here's the real deal. The best plan for 1 or 2 lines. Unlimited talk and text with 10 gigabytes of high-speed data. And here's the real deal. $45 per line with autopay and paperless billing. Even without autopay, it's just $50. Now, how's that for the fine print? No bull. That's the real deal. Switch to C Spire today at cspire.com/real deal. C Spire, customer inspired.
Man, that sounds like summertime in Mississippi, doesn't it? You know what else just screams summertime in Mississippi? Country pleasing sausage from Country Meat Packers in Florence. Check me out. Jalapeno and cheddar. Just got it at Kroger in Tupelo where I live. On grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. Cut it up, throw it in the frying pan, put it on a bun. Get some andouille, make some gumbo. It is the best sausage you've ever put in your mouth. Country Pleasing Sausage, countrypleasing.com. It is made up of hand-picked hams, bacon, and pork loin. That's why it tastes so good. I even got this cool hat from them. Check them out. Go by the butcher shop there in Florence, or order it online, or look for it in grocery stores. Walk up in there and say, Country Pleasing, please.
A lot of people in the equipment world, things kind of go in trends, I guess, if you want to say it. So kind of the first big thing for 2020 that we look at when we start evaluating our business is going to be our turf equipment. That's kind of the first big push, because once the water dries up and the grass starts growing, this is what everybody's looking to get. We carry the new Wyatt stand-up mower. Doesn't look like much, and it's dirty as all get out. But this thing is, and it costs just as much as zero turn. Not a cheap unit at all. I mean, if you go out there and look at that zero turn, this thing right here, I mean, it's got all your components from your big pumps to your commercial engine to your large steel deck. And these guys were the first ones to make
it. Right here, right now, online at thezone1059.com and on your radio at ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
Back with you. Rolling along here on this Tuesday. All set to wrap up hour number 2 of the show here in the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau Insurance. Go! The home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau. JB sent me a picture of the things on the desk that Jake brought in there. Deviled ham. What in the world?
I don't know. He came in, had a big smile on his face, and unpacked this grocery bag, and a couple of other workers in the studio came in and looked at it, and they vanished.
Chicken Vienna sausage, beach cliff sardines, some other type of potted meat, corned beef in a can, the Armour version of Vienna sausage, and then the deviled ham spread that comes in the little package, which I've had before, that comes in a little package with the wrapper around. It's kind of like a paper wrapper around the can.
Yeah.
I have no idea why they've brought that in there.
We'll find out this afternoon.
But we will be finding out this afternoon. Gracious alive.
It may be a care package for the homecoming queen.
I mean, I look at it and I'm like, is he going fishing? That's fishing food right there. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Jake says I just got a response on Twitter. Jake says this is the real election. Beaver is going to elect a new favorite treat today.
I got you.
That's outstanding. Okay, and then we have a dilemma on our hands. It's not a dilemma. It's something I've known for a long time. And that is, Annabeth really ought to be a permanent part of this show. It's just a matter of how to make it happen. I'm getting texts on the Country Pleasing text line constantly about her being on the show, people enjoying it, about it being the right mix. They like the conversation. I'm getting texts on my phone from friends. She's a natural. And I don't know what it's going to take, but we got to figure out a way to get her, number one, convinced to be a permanent part of the show. We have to figure out a way. That's just all there is to it. And maybe money. Maybe it's money. Maybe we come up with a way to monetize it. And she can keep the money. But I do think it's about, frankly, about past time that happens.
Oh, I got an idea how it happens.
What is that?
Give her a segment once a week.
And then slowly.
And she's going to be, enamored with that, and she'll enjoy it. And then pretty soon she'll go, well, Matt, can I have a segment per day?
That's a pretty good idea. It'd be a good, set it in stone. This is the day you come on at this time.
Yeah.
Seeing
our listeners want to hear from you. Call it the. You could come up with a really catchphrase name for that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, right. And then, as a way to basically kick it off, to get it going, and then grow it from there. You're right. You got to start somewhere. And maybe not with the whole shebang to begin with. Okay.
Yeah.
Res Dog says,
since it's about a lot of things too.
That's true, right? Res Dog says, since it's election day, can we vote for a new offense at MSU? I don't know if they necessarily need a new offense. They just need time. They need time to hurry up. They need to get into 2021-22 quick. But you can't, right? You can't speed up experience. Every week, Tony says that my daughter ought to be a permanent part of the show, too. And we can do that. It's just that, she's in school. She is a hoot. Special kid. MW247 says, oh, no. I saw this episode on Martin. Gina came on the radio show and took over. Buyer beware. Well, it could absolutely happen. There's no question. I've always told her she's perfect for it. She's perfect for talk radio, for podcasts. And again, it's all about motivation, or convincing her that she's perfect for it. She didn't give herself enough credit. All right. In regards to voting today, Bill says on the Country Pleasing text that he stood in line for over 2 hours to vote today, and that it was well worth it. Let's see. Underwood deviled ham spread. It's pretty good stuff, by the way.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite of all those from when I was a kid.
Yeah. There is a similar one that's chicken, but it's a spread. And I've had that, but it's been a long, long time ago. Brooks texted me that it took him 2 hours and 2 minutes to vote today. Got to do what you got to do. And then Bob said that HQ sounds too sweet for Matt. That's just an act sometimes. Let me tell you something. She can be real. She can put her foot down. Let me tell you. There's no shortage of strong will over there now. The only person I know more hard-headed than her is me. Okay? I'm just kind of being honest with you there. True story. Yeah, all right. I mentioned this, too, coming up in hour 3. I'm going to do this. I'm going to click over here at MississippiGridiron.com. I don't know how Chris and Brandon get a hold of all this information, much less how they keep up with it on one website, but they do at MississippiGridiron.com. They do a great job. And they've got the playoff scenarios up for 6A, 5A, and 1A. All those three classifications still have 1 week of the regular season left coming up. Might touch on some of those, and it's time to kind of get familiar because you have playoffs starting this weekend. You have playoffs going on in private school, and then public school, MHSAA, 2A, 3A, 4A playoffs are going to begin this week. So we might just take a peek at those when we get into hour 3, what they are, what those scenarios are. If you're just tuning in, I know we covered this in hour 1 when someone asked about it, and I touched on it a minute ago, but just in case, and I know this time of day some people do jump in the car for the first time, it is official. Kylan Hill is opting out the rest of the way. He confirmed that. As recently as yesterday in the Mike Leach press conference, it was still up in the air. Mike Leach said, well, he's still on the – I'm paraphrasing. The question was about him still being on the roster, and he's like, yeah, it's kind of up to him. And I hadn't heard from him, basically what Mike Leach said. Well, today it's confirmed by Kylan Hill. Statement goes out. He's opting out. He's not going to play anymore. And somebody asked me earlier, I think it might have been Norman on the Country Pleasing text, how does that affect the mentality of the football team, some of the players? And what I did is I sort of divided it into a couple different things. One is if it's a close friend, and every player's got a close friend or 2 or 20 on the team, just depending on who you are. And so there's going to be some number of a player or a few players who are close and tight with Kylan, who him being now officially permanently not a part of the team is going to be very different for them and whoever those are. I don't know that. The other thing is, though, the team collectively as a whole have kind of been without him anyway. He only played really a handful of snaps in the first game against LSU. He played basically, 1 or 2 snaps against Arkansas. He played maybe 1 snap or 2 snaps and tapped out of the game against Kentucky and didn't really get back in there in the flow of it very much. And then hadn't played since. He missed the entire A&M game, missed the Alabama game. So it's the team collectively is not going to feel that much different going on without him. They've been without him anyway. And they certainly have practiced without him for 2 weeks. Okay, so you remove his talent, but you don't necessarily remove his presence by him opting out. Does that make any sense? So that's kind of the way I see that. And they just go forward. I did an interview on Bo's show this morning, and Bo asked a lot of really good questions about the offensive situation at State, and there were a lot of words there, a lot of Q&A. It was a pretty long conversation. The gist of that conversation, I'm sure you can go back and listen to it on his podcast. The gist of that conversation for me, my thoughts were that, I just think that what it boils down to me at this point, you look at shortened season, you didn't have the run-up, shortened season, conference-only pandemic deal, starting over, reestablishing the whole program effectively. You're dumping out the offense on the ground out of the bucket and starting over again. All of those things combined, I think what you're seeing on the field right now is not all about 2020. I think everything that's going on is frankly about down the road. And you might go, yeah, well, State's not the only team with a new coaching staff and maybe an offense or defense change, and others seem to be doing much better. And you're right about that. But also, not every change is equal, and different coaches are different. This is one where ahead of time when you hire Mike Leach, there's no him coming in and adapting his offense. No, your program and your team is going to adapt to his offense. And it may take a while. And it took a while at Texas Tech, and it took them a while at Washington State. And it was rough there for a little while. Once they get it going, it got going. So there's a lot that goes into it with that. I think that's the situation at State. The reality is they're just in a position of looking for incremental improvement on offense each week. Enjoying play and trying to get a little better, see if they can go win a game. But it's a rebuild. Like it or not, it's the way it looks. It's a rebuild. Then you have to ask the question, how'd you get here? Hour 3 coming up. Stick around.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
Bull. There's a lot of that out there in the wireless world. But C Spire believes that you deserve a plan that is what it actually says it is. Here's the real deal. The best plan for 1 or 2 lines. Unlimited talk and text with 10 gigabytes of high-speed data. And here's the real deal. $45 per line with auto pay and paperless billing. Even without auto pay, it's just $50. Now, how's that for the fine print? No bull. That's the real deal. Switch to C Spire today at cspire.com/real deal. C Spire, customer inspired. Man, that sounds like summertime in Mississippi, doesn't it? You know what else just screams summertime in Mississippi? Country pleasing sausage from Country Meat Packers in Florence. Check me out. Jalapeno and cheddar. Just got it at Kroger in Tupelo where I live. On grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. Cut it up, throw it in the frying pan. Put it on a bun. Get some andouille, make some gumbo. It is the best sausage you've ever put in your mouth. Country Pleasing Sausage, countrypleasing.com. It is made up of hand-picked hams, bacon, and pork loin. That's why it tastes so good. I even got this cool hat from it. Check them out. Go by the butcher shop there in Florence, or order it online, or look for it in grocery stores. Walk up in there and say, Country Pleasing, please.
A lot of people in the equipment world, things kind of go in trends, I guess, if you want to say it. So kind of the first big thing for 2020 that we look at when we start evaluating our business is going to be our turf equipment. That's kind of the first big push, because once the water dries up and the grass starts growing, this is what everybody's looking to get. We carry the new Wyatt stand-up mower. Doesn't look like much and it's dirty as all get out, but this thing is, and it costs just as much as zero turn. Not a cheap unit at all. I mean, if you go out there and look at that zero turn, this thing right here, I mean, it's got all your components from your big pumps to your commercial engine to your large steel deck. And these guys were the first ones to make the standard mower.
Hey, are you buying land or selling it? You need to let Matt Anderson with National Land Realty help you out. Matt Anderson Properties. Here's what Matt can do. If you're buying land, you can view the property without ever setting foot on it. They've got the 360-degree interactive drone touring. It's really cool. You got to check it out. And if you're selling property, Matt's going to get you consistent reports, comprehensive reports of who's looking, how many people looked at your listing. You need to let him help you. Matt Anderson Properties with National Land Realty. Call him, 601-408-5155. Hey, if you listen to the show, you know that the new third hour of the Matt Wyatt Show is brought to you by Overstreet Properties in Starkville. Here's what you need to know. If you're looking for a weekend home or condo, full-time residence, investment property, maybe just an apartment to lease, you got a student going to school at State, call Kane Overstreet at Overstreet Properties. In Starkville, it's 323-8618, or look them up online, overstreetproperties.com.
ESPN.com and on your radio on ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
All right, let's go. Hour 3 of the show off and running with you. I'm Matt in the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go! With the home team. They are your home team, Farm Bureau. Hour 3 is presented by Overstreet Properties in Starkville. If you're going to Starkville for anything like moving up there permanently, investment property, maybe you need a condo, it's yours. When you come into town for ball games on the weekend, any of that, you go to Overstreet Properties, you're going to not be disappointed. See Kane Overstreet at Overstreet Properties. Look them up online, overstreetproperties.com. Tell him I sent you. All right, so welcome in. You can text me. What are y'all talking about today on the text line? We'll get to that. We did have a response from Jason in Flagstaff. Who was it? Somebody said, I'll have to go back and find the original. So we got that, and text from Res Dog and More Bully and Bill and Tony. All y'all going to get to those. Text the show at 885-ESPN. It's a 601 number, 885-ESPN. Seeing lots of pictures on social media, people sending out pictures of voting lines. It really is, whichever way it turns out, it's really impressive to see the dedication and the want to that everybody has to want to be a part of it. For your vote to count somehow, some way. Really is impressive. We'll be headed out there later today. All right. Back with us on the Davini Equipment phone line. Davini Equipment, Madison and in Jackson. Your Kubota dealer. Back with us is Bulldog Neil. After a brief stint holding on the Davini phone. Neil, I appreciate you calling me back, man. What's up?
Well, we were talking about turnip greens. The hardest part about turnip greens is cleaning them. It's as the old folks call looking them.
Uh-huh.
You got to look out. You got to look them.
So do you know how they would clean them?
Yes, you're gonna soak them in water, and then you're gonna individually inspect the leaves. For one, make sure there's nothing that's not supposed to be on there. Most commonly would be dirt because they're obviously grown in soil. Mm-hmm. If you don't look them real good, your greens can be a little crunchy.
Hmm. Gotcha.
They have to be washed. They have to be washed extremely well, and it's time consuming.
Right.
But other than that, they're not hard to cook at all. But you were talking about foods. We're talking about foods we wouldn't eat. I draw the line with chitlin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to eat a chitlin anyway, anyhow, under any. I mean, it take copious amounts of money just to get me to even think about sticking a chitlin in my pie hole.
I can honestly say, Neil, the last time I was in the presence of some real chitlins being cooked was right here in Madison, up at Gluckstadt, at the house that my former college roommate that he and his wife used to live in. They've moved since, but on his back porch, and he had 2 or 3 people over, and they were out there. I guess if I'm remembering it right, they were boiling them. And what I remember is it was more of a novelty than anything else, and the smell of those things cooking deterred me from trying them. I didn't eat them because of the way they smell.
Yeah, I don't know that I could get that hungry. I really don't. And one look at me, you can tell I don't pass too many meals. But chitlins is pretty much where not a big liver fan either. But that's a conversation for another day. But
hey, and help me with this. Help me with this, Neil. So collard greens. Am I right in that collard greens is something that a lot of times when people cook those, they have kind of a sort of smell that sort of stands out?
Collards have a bit of a smell. Mustard greens, not so much.
Yeah.
I like to mix my turnips with mustards because I like them both.
But I eat all the greens. So
yeah.
And all I do is dab a little pepper sauce on them, and not Tabasco, but pepper sauce, and kind of a vinegar-based pepper sauce. And man, back up! You kidding me? That's a good meal. That's a good meal on any day.
It is a good meal, And again, here I go. I'm not talking about the real thing, sort of. I'm talking about the canned version. But I was mentioning that it's either Gloria or Glory's brand of the canned turnip greens that's already seasoned and flavored I think they're really good. But they have a mixed greens, and it's, I believe, turnip greens and mustard greens in one can. So we're talking about the canned ones, but they'll do in a pinch.
And since foods tends to be a topic that's kind of permeating all the shows, Brooks was talking. Brooks won't eat deviled eggs.
What?
Yeah,
really?
To me, that's a hit on his man card in my book.
Yeah, I love them.
I mean, with Thanksgiving coming up, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm kind of like.
I'll eat a
You may be like me. I'm kind of like Cool Hand Luke. I could probably live off boiled eggs. I could probably just live off.
Yeah, so could I.
Yeah, yep, I like them that much.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Anyway, just my 2 cents. You guys have a wonderful afternoon.
Appreciate it, Neil. The old joke was the old man fell asleep on the back patio outside, and his wife was cooking chitlins. About 15 minutes, he woke up, looking straight up in the sky, opened his eyes, and there were buzzards up there circling him. They smell those chitlins, too. Doggone Squirrel, I didn't get to it in time. Squirrel wanted to know how much, he wanted me to ask Bulldog Neil how much money he takes to bowl games. I'm sure that must be an inside joke. Squirrel, I missed it. We let him go before I got it out there. Maybe he was still listening. Chicken Hawk on the Country Pleasing text line says, Chicken Hawk gets paid. Why not the Queen? I tell you, we just keep on stringing that lie right on out. Just string it out as far as we can string it, huh, Hawk? Anthony, I'll read yours in a bit here. Pat says, Matt, please help me feel better about my LSU Tigers and our troubles. Well, Pat, here's what I would say about LSU is they are in the same boat as a lot of teams right now, and throughout this weird year, they're in the same boat, this boat. A lot of them not as good as people say they are, as they appear at times, and a lot of them not nearly as bad as they appear at times or, have appeared at times. Okay? And what I see with LSU is sort of abnormal attrition, which you can agree with that. And, Pat, here's the thing about it. Everybody goes, yeah, but they recruited at a really high level. They're full of athletes. Yes, they are. They do have a bunch of guys on their roster right now who will play in the NFL. But many of them are inexperienced, out of sync. They're inexperienced at some of the key positions, okay? They haven't had as much practice, as much lead up. And it's naturally hard to get a team back up, I think, for a lot of programs. We're not talking about Saban. To get them back up after doing what they did last year. And the whole thing's different. Some of their best players opting out. There's plenty of sort of, if you want to say, built-in excuses for LSU. So when I'm trying to help you feel better, what I would say is, look, as bad as they looked against State, as bad as they looked against Auburn, they're going to have some games where they look good. They've already had one of those. That was against South Carolina. And they'll have some more. It's going to be an up and down thing for LSU this year. And what you have to avoid, if you're an LSU fan, you just got to know this. What you have to avoid is just tanking out the rest of the way. Like you're not beating Alabama. But you can play well against them when you host them. Maybe gain some confidence from that and then beat Arkansas. Maybe beat A&M, right? You're going to play Ole Miss, Florida. There's some tough ones in there. A&M and Florida, both on the road. Those are tough ones. But, you can still win some games and come out of the season with a little confidence and things held together and just don't do what Auburn did. back in 2012. You know, go back and look. Auburn wins the national championship with Cam Newton in 2010. He's on to the NFL one and done. The very next year, they lose 16, 17 starters and a whole bunch of players off their team, have a real hard time holding it together, and by 2012, they tanked. And they got fired, and they were up, and then they were completely down within 3 seasons. That's just what you have to avoid. What I would tell you right now is, given everything going on at LSU, I don't think they're doing a poor job. And I don't think, they're not nearly as good as some people told you. But I don't think they're nearly as bad as they may have looked a couple of times also. The one thing, though, that you have to, raise an eyebrow at is the whole, Bo Pelini thing, and then firing Ed Ogeron preseason, sort of firing shots the way of Dave Aranda, which has really come back to just look silly. I do raise an eyebrow at that. Hey, JB, so Bulldog Neil has a rebuttal to Squirrel on the phone line?
Yeah.
Let's do Neil
first. Do that first and then go to the other one?
Yeah, let's do that since he called me right back. Neil, what the message I had on the text line from Squirrel says, for me to see what you say to this, tell Bulldog Neil Squirrel wonders how much money you take to bowl games. What's this about?
Well, that's actually a throwback. Years and years and years ago, on a call-in show, Mississippi State had made a bowl game, and he came on and made the comment that nobody wanted State fans at their bowl game because they brought up one pair of underwear and a $20 bill, and they didn't change either one of them. And he and I have been friends ever since after we got through hashing that out. But you're talking about sausage. That's who you need to be hitting up, because he's killing deer left and right. I'm sure he's got a freezer full of sausage, and he can hook you up. Probably got some jalapeno cheddar. Not that there's anything wrong with country pleasing. We had it for breakfast Saturday morning, but Squirrel hunts and fishes a lot.
There you go. Well, and
matter of fact, I've often wondered if he has a real job, but he hunts and he fishes a great deal.
The thing is,
but he's an Alabama fan from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. That'll tell you about all you need to know right there, doesn't it?
Well, there you go. We'll just let that lay right there where it's at. But other than that, he's an all right fella.
Well, supposedly his dad is Nick
Neil.
Saban.
Oh, is that right? His dad's Nick Saban?
Yeah, Nick Saban, because he's son of Saban.
Mm-hmm. Well, if your dad's Saban, you kind of have to pull for him, don't you?
Yeah, you got to.
The Chicken Hawk's already loaded us up on deer sausage and all that stuff.
Had some this past weekend. Had some of the jalapeno and cheddar.
Oh, that he gave you. There you go.
With some great chili that my wife made Saturday night.
Mm-hmm. We have an anonymous caller. Let's see if we can recognize his voice. You want to do that, JB?
That sounds good to me, pal.
Anonymous caller on the Davini Equipment phone line. Let's see if we recognize the voice. Hello?
NGO and bingo was his name. Oh, wait, we're on the air.
You're on the air.
Oh, all right. Hi there, Matt. This is me, George W. Bush. Not H.W., that's my daddy. And me, Bill Clinton. How you doing there?
I'm doing great. Here we are on Election Day 2020. Have you guys gone and voted?
Yeah, we went and voted. Yeah, it was a pretty long line. We were in there for 38 minutes. Pretty long line, I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, and afterwards we just had a jam session. That's where I get out the bongo drums, and old Bill over here gets out the I forgot what I was saying. He gets out his saxophone. He's pretty good. He's about to lay a lick down right now. Do it. Play it, Bill. Yeah, he's pretty good.
He doesn't sound pretty good, but as long as he thinks he's good. Well, George W.
I think I know I'm good.
Hey, George
I'm
W.
the best in the world.
Before I turn you loose, any advice for me and for us, those of us who are headed out to vote this afternoon?
Yeah, if you go out there, remember to thinkify what you're going to do. We have an old saying in Texas. Can't remember how it went. You vote and vote me once. You're and vote me twice. You're a guy named Bill. You got that right.
All right, boys. Thanks for the call.
See you later.
Man, Bill was playing Jerry Rafferty's Baker Street there on that sax. They sounded pretty decent.
I think old Bill has been into something.
The sauce.
He's been spray painting something and breathed too deeply. Or something over there. Yeah. He gave us a Woody Woodpecker at the end of it. Glory's canned vegetables. Try them. I highly recommend them. I would take them as a sponsor on this show. Thank you, Josh, for clearing that up for me. I knew it was Gloria or Glory's. We have another vote for that. What I'm saying, y'all, is if anybody knows anybody with that company, it's like this. I'll give you examples. I literally 29 days out of the month eat country pleasing sausage. I am not exaggerating because they are a part of this radio show supporting it. I'm telling you, ask my family, literally eat it every day. All right? High Point Roasters coffee from New Albany. I literally, you guys watch it. I mean, you just got to take my word for this, but that's my coffee, and I drink it every single day in the mornings and during the radio show. Every day. Of course, I don't mind telling you all about that stuff, the country pleasing sausage, the coffee from New Albany. I don't mind telling you about it. Happy to, because I eat it and I drink it, and I know it's good. I wouldn't be eating and drinking it if it wasn't. So when it comes to Glory's canned vegetables, if y'all know a hookup, they may not need it. They may not want it. But I'd take them as a sponsor because I eat it. Now,
help a brother out.
Help a brother out. I'll tell people, I mean, I'm doing it for free anyway. They might as well pay me.
There you go. Because
the reason I'm telling y'all about it is it's good. You get some of those Glory seasoned, they got field peas, black-eyed peas, butter beans, green beans. Make your tongue slap your hat off. I can take a cabinet full of it right now. Jason in Flagstaff. Okay, here's what happened. Earlier in the show, and I wish I could remember who exactly it was. I'd scroll back and read it just to set this up. Here it is. It's from Eric. Earlier in the show, Eric, we were talking about the hypocrisy of what the CDC is doing. They, on their official website, the CDC has said, if you have coronavirus and are in quarantine, you're like a coronavirus patient, you can break quarantine to go out and vote on purpose. And a buddy of mine was like, I'm done. I ain't ever wearing another mask. I'm done with this stuff. Okay, I'm just telling you, this buddy of mine. Eric says, y'all are going to make Corona Bro and Flagstaff cry if you keep pointing out the CDC's hypocrisy. All right? Jason responded. Jason in Flagstaff. He goes, wait, why am I going to cry? Because someone wants to argue common sense with Twitter buzzwords and Rush Limbaugh's quote-unquote reporting? Jason said, furthermore, I've got better things to do than try to start some nonsense with someone 1,400 miles away. What the kind of white trashery is that? He said. And then he said he's rolling on the floor, rolling around laughing. So there you go, Eric. I'm just passing it along. That's all I'm doing. I'm passing it along. He also, Jason said, didn't Auburn have a bunch of players with legal troubles? I seem to remember a drug ring with synthetic marijuana going around the team when Chiswick got fired. I don't necessarily remember that part of it, Jason. I honestly don't. The only, in the SEC big story about synthetic marijuana that I remember was Tyrann Mathieu at LSU. And he straightened up and straight and narrow. Which is good because that stuff is horrible. Jackson Mailman found it. Glory, seasoned Southern style collard greens. Have had them. They're good. And then Uncle D says, well, go ahead and cook some country pleasing bacon and cabbage together. Might make old Real C Collins slap somebody. I am so glad you brought him up. Real C, last night I realized that I got your tweet during the radio show of your picture catching that big old slab crappie. And you sent it during the radio show, and I never did even acknowledge it. And I think I just somehow glanced over it. I was like, how did I miss this? That was last night. So, Real C, wherever you are, I hope you're catching more and stocking up in the freezer for a long winter on fish. And thanks for the picture. Good luck to you. All right, here we go. Hour 3, presented by Overstreet Properties in Starkville, continues next. Stick around.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
Bull. There's a lot of that out there in the wireless world. But C Spire believes that you deserve a plan that is what it actually says it is. Here's the real deal. The best plan for 1 or 2 lines. Unlimited talk and text with 10 gigabytes of high-speed data. And here's the real deal. $45 per line with auto pay and paperless billing. Even without auto pay, it's just $50. Now, how's that for the fine print? No bull. That's the real deal. Switch to C Spire today at cspire.com/real deal. C Spire, customer inspired. Man, that sounds like summertime in Mississippi, doesn't it? You know what else just screams summertime in Mississippi? Country pleasing sausage from Country Meat Packers in Florence. Check me out. Jalapeno and cheddar. Just got it at Kroger in Tupelo where I live. On grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. Cut it up, throw it in the frying pan. Put it on a bun. Get some andouille, make some gumbo. It is the best sausage you've ever put in your mouth. Country Pleasing Sausage, countrypleasing.com. It is made up of hand-picked hams, bacon, and pork loin. That's why it tastes so good. I even got this cool hat from them. Check them out. Go by the butcher shop there in Florence, or order it online, or look for it in grocery stores. Walk up in there and say, Country Pleasing, please.
A lot of people in the equipment world, things kind of go in trends, I guess, if you want to say it. So kind of the first big thing for 2020 that we look at when we start evaluating our business is going to be our turf equipment. That's kind of the first big push, because once the water dries up and the grass starts growing, this is what everybody's looking to get. We carry the new Wyatt stand-up mower. Doesn't look like much, and it's dirty as all get out. But this thing is, and it costs just as much as zero turn. Not a cheap unit at all. I mean, if you go out there and look at that zero turn, this thing right here, I mean, it's got all your components from your big pumps to your commercial engine to your large steel deck. And these guys were the first ones to make the standard mower.
Hey, are you buying land or selling it? You need to let Matt Anderson with National Land Realty help you out. Matt Anderson Properties. Here's what Matt can do. If you're buying land, you can view the property without ever setting foot on it. They've got the 360-degree interactive drone touring. It's really cool. You got to check it out. And if you're selling property, Matt's going to get you consistent reports, comprehensive reports of who's looking, how many people looked at your listing. You need to let him help you. Matt Anderson Properties with National Land Realty. Call him, 601-408-5155. Hey, if you listen to the show, you know that the new third hour of the Matt Wyatt Show is brought to you by Overstreet Properties in Starkville. Here's what you need to know. If you're looking for a weekend home or condo, full-time residence, investment property, maybe just an apartment to lease, you got a student going to school at State, call Kane Overstreet at Overstreet Properties. In Starkville, it's 323-8618, or look them up online, overstreetproperties.com.
ESPN.com and on your radio at ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
All right, back with you. I'm Matt. In the Farm Bureau studio, Farm Bureau, go! With the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance across the state of Mississippi. Hometown Heroes. Hour 3 presented by Overstreet Properties in Starkville, Mississippi. Overstreet Properties, you moving up there permanently, need a place to live, you got to look for that, or maybe a condo that's yours when you come into town for ball games, or leasing an apartment, anything residential, go to Overstreet Properties. See Kane Overstreet at Overstreet Properties in Starkville. Overstreetproperties.com. Look it up. Country Pleasing text line. Country Pleasing sausage on grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. 100 Grand says, Matt, when I heard Gloria's on the air, I thought y'all were talking about the soul food spot in Jackson. All the black stars eat there when they come to town, but I hear y'all are talking about canned foods. Yep, canned goods. It's Glory's. It's Glory. It's a maker of good canned vegetables.
I've eaten at Gloria's quite a few times.
I've never been there.
Yeah, it's over by the Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Okay, close to the stadium.
Right there on the back side, yeah. Just kind of outside the Fondren area a little bit.
Okay. All right. Man, you got me wanting some turnip greens. That's where I am now. That's what I'm thinking about. I got to do 30 minutes of radio, and the whole time thinking about turnip greens. On the CDC thing, Jason in Flagstaff says, the CDC isn't being hypocritical. They're trying to avoid lawsuits. if they tried to tell someone who was in quarantine they could not vote, they could name their price, especially and particularly with so many people already, he says, not minding the CDC and local guidelines. Yeah, but they didn't have to necessarily put this on their website, Jason. That's the thing. I mean, I get it. You couldn't come out and go 180 the other way and say, you have COVID, you can't vote. You can't do that. Okay. But what they did is just said, you can break quarantine, take yourself in there. If you're sick with COVID, you can go up in there and vote. It says wear a mask, stay 6 feet from others, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer before and after voting. And you should let the poll workers know you are sick or in quarantine when you arrive at the polling location. It does say check with local authorities, though.
Yeah, I think I figured out a way you could avoid that if that's the case. My wife told me a minute ago via text that the place where we vote, they have some handicap spots, and that people are pulling in those handicap spots, and poll workers are coming out and bringing them ballots and letting them vote and taking them back in. Okay,
there you go.
Yeah. So I'm not real sure how that works, though, man, because you don't really get to see the poll worker put your ballot in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It seems kind of odd. But
yeah, I mean, you just trust them to do it. You know?
Yeah.
See, here's the thing about it. Quarantine, by definition, means isolation.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, we know it, and we're saying break quarantine. Well, what's the purpose of quarantine? By definition, is to what? Isolate. I'm not saying if you have COVID, it's fair for you to miss out on voting. I ain't saying that. Nobody in their right mind would. But somebody could say this. You want them not to spread the thing or not? They got it. They're in quarantine. Isolation. Well, they've had it for 10 days. Let's just say no. Let's go inside of that. Let's say they found out 9 days ago. Well, then I would go, well, you had plenty of time to do the mail-in thing, right? You could do the mail-in thing if you knew it for 9 days, because you knew
get the ballot to you. Because sometimes you can't get the ballot in time for it to be postmarked by the day.
Okay, well, see, there's the problem then. All right, so let's move on to the next level of this then.
All right,
let's move on to the next level. So, anybody currently with COVID, you're supposed to be isolating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Center for Disease Control and Prevention says, get out and vote. I'm saying it's clear. It's that clear. Jason, I understand what you're saying, going like they're not being hypocritical. We're not. I use that word. Okay, so let's just take it out. Take hypocritical out. You're saying, avoiding lawsuits. Well, they don't have to go out here and tell people they can't vote. It's just like somebody else texted in earlier. The CDC can't tell you anything. Can't tell you anything or make you do anything. Nothing. This is a free country. They can't make you quarantine. Can't make you do anything. Okay, you can obey, like you said, you can obey it or not. But they can't make you do anything. But they don't have to go so far as to actually encourage people with COVID to vote in person. That's the point of this whole deal.
Well, you're not seeing people leaving ICU to get out and vote, right?
JB, listen. The center, I keep saying this. Listen to this. Just listen. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention says get out and vote if you have COVID.
So what's your knee-jerk when you hear that? What is the first thing you think about when you hear that being said? Now, it's hard to go back and redo what you heard 2 hours ago, two and a half hours ago.
Yeah.
But when you said it right then, you know what I thought?
What's that?
then that means it wasn't contagious to begin with.
Right. That's my thing, is how contagious is it and how concerned are you about spreading the disease? That's what we're getting at. How concerned are you about the spreading of this thing? That's what I'm saying. Because just like a while ago, Jason, here's my problem with the Center for Disease Control. My wife sitting in here a little bit ago, knowing she and I, and she and me and her, and our 9-year-old daughter about to load up in the car this afternoon, and guess where we're headed? To vote. And my daughter wants to see it. And where we live, we already got word that the other night during Trick or Treat, there's a person here, I ain't going to name anybody, who has silently gotten the cocoa and didn't tell anybody, but it got out. And that same person on Halloween night's out on her front porch handing out, putting candy in kids' bags. Okay? What's the chances that that person with cocoa is standing in line over there getting ready to vote, using the same booth, all this stuff? What I'm pointing out is, by merely encouraging people who are sick and in quarantine to break quarantine and go vote in person, how concerned are they about the spread of the stupid virus? I can see how some people would go, the CDC's tongue is tied in the middle and loose at both ends. That's what it is. They can't figure out what to do, so they just don't stop telling people stuff to do. And we wonder why half the country, really more than half, doesn't feel like they can trust one thing they say or do. That's what I'm saying. I mean, who are these people? Where are their heads at? Y'all stick around.
The Zone 105.9 Cash In from the Couch Cash Contest is a company-wide contest for your chance to win $1,000 daily.
I'm actually going to head up to Biggersville up in Alcorn County tonight. 1A Biggersville, they're 2-0 this year. Scored 60 points in their ball game last week, so they're off to a really good start. Been by there a bunch. You can see the school and the field from the highway. There's a school, a water tower, a barbecue place, and a Dollar General, and a lot of really good folks.
I started at Biggerville in the second grade in 1966, and I've been here since the second grade. So people in Biggerville have been so good to me, and the good Lord, I'm just really blessed by what I've been able to experience. After school Thursday, there was 28 kids out there, and we counted the orders after. You know, we're just blessed to support the school, and they sure support me.
This is the busy night, like everyone's coming.
It's a close-knit community. I mean, they love the kids, and like I said, I've been in Biggerville for 60 years, and it's just a great place. I mean, great place to raise your family and kids and support the school.
Smithville, who's always kind of been a 1A powerhouse, hasn't played yet this year. They haven't been able to really even practice as much because of COVID. So kind of an interesting dynamic, because Biggersville has never beaten Smithville. At least that's what I'm told. So it's actually a huge opportunity for that community.
I was supposed to stay. I'll take
next week. Hamburger and
Monday.
Coke. You got any chips?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's game between the Biggersville Lions and the Smithville Seminoles. And what a game we have in store tonight, as the 2-0 Lions take on the 0-0 Smithville Seminoles.
Well, let's see if the Lions can get their run game going with senior number 23, Goldman Butler.
So tonight's matchup getting ready to take place as the Biggersville Lions won the toss. They have elected to defer to the second half. We thank you all for tuning in to tonight's ball game.
Of course, Smithville brings tradition that people long for, and that's kind of what we long for here. You know, again, we're building it, but they've kind of set the standard, especially in 1A in North Mississippi and across Mississippi in general. So yeah, it's exciting. To my knowledge, they've told me we've never beaten them. So what an accomplishment that would be, and that's what we shoot for, and just to kind of set the tone for the whole season for bigger and better things, hopefully.
Bowler got a couple of blocks. He's going to bust through. He's going to break free. One man to beat. Breaking tackle. And will finally get pushed out of bounds at around the 10-yard line. So a great job right there for the Biggersville Lions. Rousey shotgun takes a snap and hands it off to Butler once again. Butler up the middle. Got some blocks. Going to be handed off to Butler. Round to the left side and he'll bust into the end zone.
Wyatt Show.
We have another totally awesome episode for you today.
And it's streaming right now online at thezone1059.com and on your radio on ESPN 105.9. The Zone. And
All right, back with you to wrap up here, Hour 3, presented by Overstreet Properties in Starkville. I'm Matt. JB is here. We're here in the Farm Bureau studio. Text me, call me. Got some minutes left with y'all before we get this bus, JB the bus driver, get it pulled up into the driveway, right up to the front porch of the drive with Jake and Beaver, and they're going to talk potted meats during their show today. It's not a euphemism or anything. That is a true deal. I'm looking forward to that. Right up my alley, apparently, because we've had no sports on today's show, and I was just made aware of that on the Country Pleasing text line. Country Pleasing sausage on grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. Unnamed texter said, dang, Matt, no sports today. Very little sports today. And y'all, I don't really know how to apologize for that. I mean, the real purpose of the show is to just kind of entertain you. And when there's an opportunity to have some information for you and talk sports, we definitely do it. Y'all know that. But today just didn't happen. I mean, we started on election, and then it goes in a million different directions. We just kind of let it flow freely, and this is where we are. I did not have an agenda. I'd admit, I was doing some show prep earlier today, and I'm like, what are we going to do? I mean, it's Tuesday. We're going to preview State and Vandy. It's election day. It's just a day where my mind wasn't on sports as much, and if it ran you off, sure enough, I apologize. It just happened. It really did. It just happened.
It's a different kind of day, man. There's a lot of other things floating around in the air.
That's right.
And, every now and then you got to pick it up and do what you feel like you need to do, man. Don't apologize for it.
That's right. Thank you. Tyler, I got your text there with that screenshot or that document. Yeah, to anybody listening, I would say that I'm not trying to steer you. I think educationally, everything that's in there is facts. Look that up. Google something called Beware the Useful Idiots. Do it. Google it, read it. We're all big boys, grown folks. We can take it. And some will see it one way and some will see it others, but there are facts in there that everybody needs to be aware of.
Oh, yeah.
Beware the useful idiots. Control health care, control poverty, control debt, gun control, welfare, education, remove a belief in God, get it out.
class welfare. You start doing that, you got everybody where you want them. Get the whole thing where you want it, right? I'm just saying, go read it. I'm not going to preach to you. Just go read it if you get a chance. Anthony from Tupelo says, there's nothing like eating jalapeno and cheddar country pleasing sausage with some fresh cooked mustard greens on the side. Ooh, it'll make your tongue beat your brains out. Yeah. That's the real deal. Somebody said the CDC is concerned if it meets their narrative. Jackson Mailman says, you've been talking about the CDC and mask wearing. Your commercial was just about how masks give us, quote, freedom to live our lives again. I heard that. I heard it. I was just tagging the CDC. I'm talking about just peppering them. Pow. And then break.
Yeah.
And the first thing we hear, wear your mask at all times.
Did you hear the last commercial before you came back?
No, what'd that one say?
It was the Kevin Love one.
Oh, yeah.
That's perfect. Wear your mask and breathe.
Hey, the next time the Kevin Love thing comes on, turn my mic up.
Okay.
Because over the air, I want people to hear me go. And then I'm going to go, goose fraba. Oh no, Jason, no, we're not saying you're a useful idiot. No, it's the title of a thing. It is a thing that was written, and I'm assuming it's from a newspaper, Jason.
No, it's a Lansky. He was a
okay, that was his term.
Yeah, that was his
okay.
term.
So Saul Alinsky's term was the useful idiots.
Yeah.
Okay,
and it
Jason,
was kind of a prediction on what would be coming in the future.
Right. What would be coming if people who wanted to basically usher in socialism, instead of voting it in, if they wanted to just basically, like in the veil of night, usher it in under everybody's nose, that this is how you would do it. And that was Saul Alinsky's idea. And he called it useful idiots, Jason. And I wouldn't say anybody is. I'm saying it's a thing that you can look up and Google and read. And Tyler actually sent us either a copy or a screenshot of it there. And that's what made me think about it. That's all that was. Yeah, I sure did, mailman. I heard it. I'm getting after the CDC. We'll go to commercial. In the first commercial, you hear, wear your mask. Wear it at all times. Never take your mask off. You cannot go outside without a mask on. I'm exaggerating. Okay, doggone it, I'm exaggerating. At this point, we just need laughs, however we can get them. Caleb texts the show and says, I started my stopwatch from the time I left my car to the time I left the voting booth, 2 minutes and 36 seconds. How awesome is that? And man, poor Chris Brooks was there for 2 hours and 2 minutes.
No.
Good old Brooksy. Brooksy McJack. Glad that came up because I don't want to hear nothing about how we didn't talk sports.
He talked potted meat.
I listened to his show the other day. He talked for 5 minutes about how big his head was when he was a kid. It's true. I didn't even make it up.
He did. He said he had a large dome.
He's like, I had a big head. Let me tell you about that for a minute. Y'all settle in here, kids. I was basically Charlie Brown. I mean, that's basically, here we go. White Denzel says, Spam is the best potted meat, fried in between 2 pieces of bread with bacon, mustard, and blue plate mayonnaise. White Denzel, heart attack on a plate is what you just described. Don't eat too much of that. It's good. I mean, just because it tastes good does not mean you should eat it.
I got a Spam story real quick. I just have to tell you.
Let me tell you something. In the redneck world, Spam and mayonnaise. You hear me? And we wonder.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. What you got?
All right. Yes. So the last church I served, we had a food bank, and we did food every Tuesday. We'd serve about 100 to 125 folks, and one of the staples that we got used to be Spam. Well, we started getting stuff from Robert St. John's Extra Table, trying to get healthier food to hand out.
Yeah.
And people, we would find that they would leave their tuna. They wouldn't take the tuna, and it became an uprising. They wanted Spam back. We'd see all these cans of tuna sitting out in front of the church and go, man. And finally I asked somebody, I said, man, what's the deal? Well, y'all don't like the tuna? He goes, no, man, we want the Spam back.
The Spam. They wanted it. They're hooked.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in Spam, but everybody's right. If you fry it, it tastes really good. You ever had Spam and eggs?
Yeah.
Had it.
Green eggs and Spam.
But I'm never, ever going to have Spam on some bread with mayonnaise. Come on, Denzel. How big a old boy are you? Live stream, Sven over in Germany says, what is CDC? Never heard of that. It is the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. CDC. Center for Disease Control. Another Jason says 8 minutes from the truck back to the truck in Richland to vote. There you go. Broski and Jackson says, I ate too much Spam one time. Felt like my body was out of my body. What does that even mean? He said, my head felt like a balloon. He said, my blood pressure had to be like 200 over something. He said, I left it alone years ago. All right, Denzel, he's putting himself out here. He says, I'm 235 pounds and can still pass military height and weight. Now that's impressive. You know, on the chart, I don't think, see, that old body mass index chart is a pile of crap. Okay, they came up with that in about 1915. Okay, because I go in there my whole life, even as an athlete, even as a college athlete, my whole life, the BMI chart told me I needed to be about 20 pounds lighter than I was. I'm sitting up in there with about 7% body fat at one point, weighed about 220 pounds as a freshman, sophomore, 6'5". But if you go to a regular doctor's office, look at the BMI chart, I was overweight. So, I mean, you know, but if you could pass the military height and weight, come on with it, Denzel. Eat all the Spam and mayonnaise you want. Get you a spoon. Go to town. Jason says, if enough people were wearing their masks, we wouldn't be having this problem. See, and Jason, here's the thing about it. It's not that I doubt you. It's not that I think like a lot of people, I do the mask a lot of times. One, just as a precaution to make sure I'm not spreading it and don't know it, you know, in certain situations. Other times it's mandated. But I honestly don't know that anybody knows for certain what they say about what the masks do. I don't know that. I mean, because I don't know that the proof is out there. The theory is out there, and a lot of people buy into the theory. I don't know that the actual numbers and proof is out there. I don't know that they can even get the numbers and proof. I don't know anything. See y'all tomorrow. See you.
Here's John and Corey Ravenstein for Juniker Jewelry Company.
In Mississippi, hunting isn't a sport, it's a religion.
All my buddies grew up hunting, and I don't miss a season today.